What are you doing?
What's up, people? I'm just checking out.
I gotta hide this.
Yeah,
because I don't want to show it off yet. I just won't go that way.
I'm just checking out what's going on.
Oh, what is going on? How many? I
We
had to
have
delete a post today. Oh, almost 1,000.
895 members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it clean. So
Yes.
deleting posts that don't make any sense. For those of you that don't know what he's looking at, that is the 12-volt Clean Wire Club on Facebook. You can become a member of the 12-volt Clean Wire Club. It's real simple. All you got to do is ask to join, and we'll invite you in. However, it is for clean wiring only. That's right, clean wiring only. I don't want to see any flush panels. I don't want to see any flashing lights unless there's clean wire attached to them, and that is the point of it. You can ask questions, but they have to do with clean wiring and stuff like that. So there are some posts that do get deleted from time to time, and I apologize for that, but they are not part of what we want to see. So right now we're the only two admins. We're probably going to expand on that as time moves on. Find other people to help us with it, because with all the other fun and excitement that we do, sometimes it's hard to keep on top of all that stuff. How are you guys? How are you, Fernando?
I'm doing wonderful.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we're here. What else you can do?
Yeah. So we've been working on some cars today. We've had cars. We've had people that had appointments. The roads are packed. Dude, stay home, man. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Like
if you go right now outside, or if you look outside, it's just traffic.
It's just a normal Monday.
Like normal Monday.
Yeah. So it's just a normal Monday over here. Yeah. Just look at that. Just people driving around like it's no big deal. Ooh, what do you think? JL Audio or Audio Frog?
Ooh,
I'm guessing we're talking
I'm gonna
speakers.
talk about the Z7s and the GV16. I'm gonna take the Audio Frog. I'm sorry.
You're gonna take the Audio Frogs?
Yes.
I think I would agree with that.
I heard the Audio Frog. I heard the C7s because we put it on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I take the Audio
Oh, the
Frog.
GBs are definitely.
Yeah.
Do you see where Andy's posting pictures of when he built his Mercedes? Again?
Who?
Andy. Yeah, Audio Frog, Andy Waymeyer.
No,
He's putting up all the pictures. If you guys don't follow Andy Waymeyer on Facebook, by all means, hit him up. See if you can.
Yeah.
You don't have to, don't friend him, just follow him. But yeah, he's the guy at Audio Frog. He put up a bunch of pictures of his build for his Mercedes that he's had. Did you ever hear the Mercedes?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes.
What'd you think?
It's just like.
I can't remember if I've heard the Mercedes or not.
Yes, you did.
Did I hear the Mercedes?
Yeah, you were the first that you heard.
Did I hear it first?
Yeah, you
Where
heard
did we hear it?
first.
Dallas? Had to be Dallas. No.
No, I think
It
that
had
was
to be
in
Dallas.
Indy.
He didn't drive that to Indy. Indy was the guy. It had to be Dallas.
Mhm.
It was
It
Dallas.
has to be Dallas.
Yeah,
yes.
it was no way that's going to Indy. Any plans of our charges or anything for this coronavirus crap? Plans of our changes. Right now there's nothing that we have control over that's going to change. We'll see how things go. Right now there's discussion, which we're in Pinellas County, which is Clearwater Beach in that area. Hillsborough is the next county over. That's where Tampa International Airport is. The Bucks and all those guys play in there. They're across what we call the Bay, which is Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
They're in discussions right now of locking down Tampa Bay, meaning non-essentials, stay home, closing down all the silliness. So if they do that, which it kind of seems like they're going to, especially after this weekend, nobody paid attention to anything this weekend. It was like the governor's been on, like, stay at home, do this, do that, and nobody is cares. The beaches were packed, the parking lots were packed. I guess people just, if it doesn't affect them, they just think it's not going to happen to them, and that's just not the case.
And that was the reason why they closed all the beaches.
So like usual,
That's the
you'll be able to blame Florida for everything. So seems to be how it goes. We can't figure shit out until it's too late.
It's
so,
crazy, man.
We can't figure out how to do an election, and apparently we can't listen to the scientists say, stay at home, dumbass.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
here we are.
It's crazy.
All right. That's just my thought. What's up from Dallas?
What's up?
Not much.
Peru.
Hopefully we'll get there this year. Is it bad if you add bass boost to your speakers?
It is bad.
So the smaller speakers, it's volume dependent. So loudness is really a cool feature. Most of the aftermarket radios have loudness control. What loudness does is that, like Pioneer has 3-step, I think Kenwood has 3-step loudness control. Loudness control is nice because at lower volumes it boosts the bass and the treble. And the more 1, 2, or 3 you go up, 3 being the most, 1 being the least, you get that low volume boost in bass and treble, which makes things sound really good.
Yeah.
A lot of the times when we set up a car, we'll go ahead and turn on loudness, usually to 1 or 2, depending on the type of customer we're dealing with. If it's an older person, we'll put it on like 2 because we know they're never going to get the volume up to where they can actually get the impact of the music. Now, what makes loudness cool is as you turn up the volume, the loudness fades away.
Yeah.
So it is volume dependent. So think of it as we always talk about bass roll-off. Loudness is probably the precursor to what bass roll-off, or gave them the idea for bass roll-off. So that as you turn the volume up, these features just slowly fade down. It's made for low-level listening, and it's very helpful. Bass boost, like Pioneer has bass boost built in their head unit, is, I would like to say, kind of like a poor man's epicenter. Where it gets crazy is that it gives all the outputs the bass boost, okay? And it's not volume dependent. It just happens at all volumes, all channels. If it was just subwoofer, that would be awesome, because then it would be like a poor man's epicenter and give you a bass boost for, what's up? Bass boost for the sub, and it actually sounds good for some types of music that just don't have bass. But as soon as you play something that has bass, forget it. Everything gets out of control.
Yeah.
So hope that helps. What processor you recommend for 2020 Sierra GMC no bows? No bows in a 2020. So we do know you're going to need load resistors. So pick yourself up a set of the green load resistors from Audio Control, the AC LG 30s, 20s, the green ones. Just get the green ones. There's 3 colors: blue, green, gray. Get the greens. We've done a couple different things in the little truck. We've done the DSR1.
Yeah.
We've done the Q Class 1005. I really like that. You don't have a lot of room in that vehicle. There is, if you go behind the back seat, there is some room. But a lot of the times what we like to do is...
We have a phone call.
Yeah, that's Paul. We like to do the DSR1 with some of the Rockford T-Series amplifiers, because then we don't have to go behind the seat, which I prefer, because there's no easy way to get that back seat down, which means every time I want to do something, I have to deal with on bolting the seat and all that craziness. So, yeah, I like that. Anyways, that would be my suggestion. And of course, no one makes like a cool Amp Pro interface for that, so you're pretty much out of luck there.
What's up, Brian?
Hi, when making your videos in Spanish, my friends. Not anytime soon, my friend. Hello from Detroit. What's going on up there in the cold? Peru in the house. Greetings from Bolivia. Dang, what's going on there? For better music quality, do you prefer USB or radio or Bluetooth wireless mirroring?
USB.
I go USB.
Yeah.
Now, in my car, I have the 9906W whatever Kenwood Exelon Badass radio, which is Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi is my preferred method. If you have the opportunity to do that, definitely go Wi-Fi. But before I had that, I would just do USB because the Bluetooth sounded like total garbage. The only Bluetooth that we found really works really well. Oh, Christ, that's going to change because LDAC is coming out. It's like we have the 2 Moscone pieces in this white box that have, I'm guessing, LDAC because they stream high res. And then next year you're going to see, or this year, I keep saying next year because they're not out yet, but later this year when the Kenwood products finally ship, they're going to have LDAC as well. Do a search on LDAC. It's made by Sony. It's high-res Bluetooth. It's pretty freaking awesome. That'll be coming out, and then we'll get to answer that question again. Not all people, LOL. Yeah, I know, right? Okay. Poor man's epicenter. What would sound better with more chest punch, 212s or 112, both final RMS 800 watts, 2 ohm load, ported box? So what it comes down to is how much surface area can you move and how fast can you move it and all that other fun stuff. And there is more to surface area. So like if you're looking at like 2, let's say, which is the example of like 2 P212s as opposed to 1 T112, which would move more air and just have that more fulfilling sound in a ported box. 800. I would probably say the one T112 would, if I was looking at the two and how loud that T1 will get because of the power difference and just how far the excursion is on that woofer, meaning how much air can it cup. So think of it like when you're in a pool. You know when you're in the pool and you stick out your hands like this and you just push all that water to the one side of the pool and it rolls up and it smashes back on you? That's what you're thinking of. So with more power, obviously, like if a kid is doing it, he's not going to move as much water as you are, and you're bigger. So that bigger woofer with that big power is going to move more air, which is going to make it louder. That's just my thoughts, whatever they're worth. If you sent me a direct message, chances are good. I'm sorry, I'm going to miss it because I really don't check them here on Instagram because, for one, I don't know how. I know. It's just, I've never sat down and Haley yells at me and she's like, do this. And I was like, should I do a high pass or a band pass crossover on a three-way active setup with 6.5 utopians? Band pass. So you should have a band pass on the mid-range, or you should have a band pass on the mid-bass because there's a limit for both. You should be 24 dB full active. So cross your tweeter over, 24 dB, pick your mid-range up at that same spot, 24 dB. Where the mid-range ends, your mid-bass picks up, 24 dB, so on and so forth. Do the same for the mid-bass, cross it over, 24 dB. You'll be rocking and rolling. Everyone will be happy. You won't have to worry about any dips in the crossover points, any polarity shifts, any of that fun stuff. It'll all be gone, and everyone will just be like, oh, dude, your stuff sounds so amazing. You'll be like, I know, bro. What are your favorite cars to work on? I'm going to save that one. I'm going to ask Fernando when he gets back because he might be better at that. Can you please go to the DM? I'll see what I can do, Tommy. I'll see what I can do. Nice tip, load resistors. Load resistors are the best. For those of you that don't know what load resistors are, they're the cool little things. Audio control makes it the easiest. Well, I'd say audio control and kicker definitely make it the easiest. JL also has one, and I think Audison has one as well. But these are definitely going to become the most well-known. So this is a Zobel load network, which acts more like a speaker than just a load resistor. Just a load resistor is going to be just this guy here. Just puts a load on and gets really hot and whatnot. The Zobel acts more like a speaker and reacts that way. It's a little bit different. But they make 3 different kinds. They have the 20s, they have the 60s, and then I don't have the blue up here. That's in my toolbox. But these, if you're using an audio control product, with the exception of the amplifiers, these will just plug in because they use these cool Phoenix connectors. But on the amplifiers, they use mini Phoenix connectors, so you have to unscrew and screw in the wires. Bummer. But definitely want to check those out. The new GMs are hit or miss. Like we did one truck, we didn't have an issue. We did the next truck, we had an issue. Put the load resistor in, perfectly fine. So from now on, they're just going to get load resistors and everyone will be hunky-dory. And life will go on. What's up, William? Hello from Chicago. 2018 Ford F-150. Heated seats, button lights up, but seats don't warm up. Any ideas? What to check? Did a full system with factory radio. Sounds like something isn't plugged in. I mean, that would be the first place I'd check. See if something isn't plugged in behind the radio. Sometimes there's a couple harnesses that don't make it. But I would start there. Also, did you pull the seats out? Check underneath the seats, make sure those are connected. If all said and done, the car's all plugged in and everything, and you didn't cut any harnesses, you might have to go back to the dealer. That sucks. But, yeah, that's kind of weird. I would just go back through the whole thing, take it all back apart again, make sure everything's plugged in. And then also make sure that if you cut anything, you didn't accidentally nick a wire. It's been known to happen. I mean, we're professionals. We do this every day. We all make mistakes. It can happen. I mean, you're cutting some tape on a wire and you accidentally you nick a wire. You don't even realize you did it. And the next thing you know, something doesn't work. So you end up peeling all the tape back off. And sure enough, you find that one of these little 22 gauge wires got cut in half. So you just got to go back through the whole system. And it's going to be in the one place you didn't check. And it sucks. Hey, from here in Orange. What's up? Oh, it's Lance. What's up, Lance? I came up with a great idea, Lance, if we ever get to do Orlando. Just saying. But it's on the least of everyone's list right now because the world is falling apart. So, anyways. And like I said, the Electromedia also makes load resistors. They make a summing module too that's really cool that I got to order. That's really neat. So it allows you to do summing before, so you don't actually, yeah, it's really neat. Anyways, we'll get one and we'll talk about it. Hey guys, true. When tuning DSP, what volume level do you use? Half, 2/3, 3/4 of total volume, factory head unit output? If it's a factory stereo, I'm typically going the 2/3 route. I like to have it loud enough to where it's going to be, this is where we're going to be listening to it, or a little bit higher. If it's an aftermarket radio and we're going DSP, then it really doesn't matter so much. I just want it louder than the background noise, because obviously there's noise in the bay and stuff like that, and I don't want that to affect it. If it's a factory radio and I'm doing the DSP on the radio and we're inside the car, then I try to keep it at a normal listening level that isn't going to make my ears ring. Can I run 210s off of a T750.1 BD? That's RMS, yeah, for RAM. Definitely, you can run the T. Yes, you have no problem. That's 900 watts of power all day long. I've never seen one come in under 900 watts. We actually just did one today in a Lincoln Continental. Should have filmed it, but Fernando wasn't here. So it was a 2016 Lincoln Continental with the Continental system in it. That was just a joy to work on. Anyways, yeah, I did a 750.1, T750.1 on two P312s. Just insane. That's one of our go-tos. A lot of times we're doing Toyotas. We're doing two P312Ts. We'll use the 750.1. We've done the Kicker Q Class 12 on the 750.1. We do a lot on the 750.1. It's a very popular amplifier to put subwoofers on because it's small, it's powerful. You only have to run an 8-gauge. It's sexy. What's up, party people in the house? How should I integrate into my 2019 Camaro with Bose? Okay. So if there's no Amp Pro for the 2019, which I don't think there is, Nav TV just came out with their adapter to integrate into it. So if that's, which I think 2019 was the changeover year, I'm not 100% sure, but if it was, then, and they don't show the Amp Pro GM61 working for that, head over to navtv.com, and they have the new interface under the Zen model for that car if you have Bose. I would totally use that. Maybe Tosh link out to a cool, DSP. All good. All the cars. Yeah. FIR, IRR filters on a DSP. Why are you asking that, Lance? Why? He's toying with me right now because we've had this conversation, and I stayed up when we were doing the Raptor. We were using the audio control. I'm sorry, not audio control. We were using the Audison DSP, and I stayed up half the night learning all about FIR and IRR style DSPs. If you guys want to know more about that, of course, just go to Audison and read on their DSPs. It's really boggles the mind. And of course, like anything else, if you don't do it every day, you kind of forget. So I'd have to go back and refresh it. But there you go. Plan on modifying my soon-to-be BMW X5. I have 12-inch kicker, 1,200 watts. What amp would you recommend? For the highs, KS something. And honestly, when it comes to the KX, get into the KX amplifiers if you are into the kicker, or the Q class obviously would be the way to go. But if you don't want the DSP in the amplifier, check out the KS. And I strongly recommend checking out the Marine amplifiers. Okay, now I know what you're saying. Wait, why would I do that? And the reason why you do that is because they make a 6-channel and they make an 8-channel. All right, and both of those aren't in the red line, which is what they normally have. The only difference between the Marine and the non-Marine is the conformal coating of the boards, and they have more options as far as high-pass amplifiers go. So like we did one of the 8-channel amplifiers and used it as a 6-channel amplifier because we wanted more power, so we used it on left front, and it was freaking awesome. So definitely check out those Marine KX amplifiers from Kicker, because of the combinations. The 6 channels is awesome to run 4-channel. You get tons of power to the front. LG-G20 work great for Dodge Durango low-end radios. Yes, they do. And it actually says it on the box, if we're truth be told. if you look at the 20, it says right here, ideal for OME sound systems, ideal for non-amplified Dodge, Chevy, Chrysler, Maserati, maximum input voltage of 15 volts. That's a lot of power. 15 volts. All right, moving back to me. Acceptable use speaker level inputs to add small amp sub to factory stereo, or should I get an LOC? Wonderful question. LOC or to not LOC. Really what it comes down to is first the amplifier you're going to buy and what the input sensitivity is. What the input voltage is on that particular amplifier. So, for example, let's take a look at an amplifier. This guy right here, this is the Phoenix Gold. This one has a switch on it right here that says balanced, unbalanced. Balanced is going to be high level, meaning speaker wires that are left, 4 or 2, meaning there's a positive as a ground. Unbalanced is going to be a signal like an RCA, meaning that there's 2 positives and the shield is sharing. So think of it as 3 wires or 4 wires. This will take input voltage pretty high. It's above 10 volts of input voltage, and that's a lot. To give you an example, like today we were working on the Continental I mentioned, and there was about 8.5 volts coming out of the factory amplifier for the subwoofer. We were using the Rockford T amplifier, which will take 15 volts of input voltage into the amplifier. Audio control something like 40 volts, which is just insane. My point is, knowing that information is going to tell you whether or not you're going to need an LOC. If the amplifier is capable, the retail store is out and down. Just go out that door.
Was the other one?
Yep, that's the retail store. Yep. We're trying to leave this door open so people just don't touch and feel everything. But then we just get people that can't read come in the door because we have 2 signs that say not retail store. Anyways, so what we're getting at is if your amplifier is capable of, if the input voltage, meaning the LOC built into it, is capable of handling the input voltage that you're going to be putting into it, then yes, you could use the one on the amplifier, because even an LOC has a limit. So like the Pack Audio LP72s have a voltage limit on them. They're not made to handle, they're like 50 watts or something like that, and that's all they'll handle. Anything past that, they die. Well, if your amplifier will handle 50 watts of input, you're fine. Now let's scroll down here. Full coil components in front and coaxials in rear. How do you run them? Full, high pass, low. All right, so full coil components in the front, that's going to be high pass. Coaxials in rear is also going to be high pass. So HPF, that's what you're looking for. So when you're doing a set of components up front, meaning you have a tweeter, you have a mid-range, there's a passive crossover in there, you're going to be, the tweeter is going to get its high pass crossover from the passive crossover. The mid-range is going to get its low pass crossover. That's right, low pass crossover, meaning because it doesn't need to play those tweeter frequencies, so it needs a low pass crossover to limit those high signals from getting into it. But you need a high pass filter to limit the movement of the mid-range. So you use a high pass filter. The rear, it's going to be the same thing. The crossover is built in, so high pass filter there, and then or HPF, and then so on and so forth. Hey there, I have a pair of 12-inch Alpine Type E's. Is there still worth rocking in a 2020? Is it still worth rocking in 2020? I'm going to not lie. I was never a fan of the Type E subwoofers. It's a subwoofer. It'll play. It'll make bass. If you got a small amp to power them, yeah, use them. It just depends on what you're trying to do. Do you guys have any thoughts or issues when adding an amp to an F-150 with stop-start? No. So typically what we'll do is we'll bypass the stop-start. We did a video using Metra's older stop-start bypass where we showed you how to wire it in. I strongly recommend you getting one of those or watching that to give you an idea. It just wires in. Now, they have a brand new stop-start bypass, which I think is shipping right now, that literally just plugs in. So you just pop the top of the dash off, which you have to do to get to behind the radio anyways, and it just plugs in. It's a memory minder. So both of them are memory minders. All they're doing is they're not dealing with anything in the car. All they do is they repeat what the button does. So if you press the button, turn the ignition off, turn the ignition on, when it powers up, it pushes the button for you so that you don't have to keep pushing the button. Now, if you want to keep stop-start functioning, meaning you really want that whatever it's doing for you, then you need to find an amplifier that's capable of playing down to 8.5 volts. there are a few that'll do that. So the yellow line kicker amplifiers are capable of doing that. And also Helix amplifiers are capable of doing that. There again, you need to find something that works at 8.5 volts, because when your car goes to start, 8.5 volts. Another workaround, which is just kind of like it may work, it may not, is adding a battery, second battery, back to the back by the amplifiers, and getting a... There's a piece made by WaveTech, which has a really funky name, and then there's also a piece made by Amp, which is the... Where the heck is it? Hold on. Am I out of them? Ignition 3. That's it. I'm sorry. It's called an Ignition 3. And what those are designed to do is to keep a low amount of accessory current on when the car goes to start. And I think Audison also has one, I think. Oh, and speaking of that, the Audison amplifiers will work too. So if you pick up like the AP, these guys, because you can rail down the voltage on them so that they aren't as sensitive to stop-start. So like you can pick up the Forza 8 channel there. They make an F-150 package for that, where you get all the speakers, the amp, the subwoofer, the whole 9 yards. And I think it comes with the 2 amplifiers. It comes with the AP 8.9 and then the sub amp, so it's a 2 amp combo. But yeah, so it just depends what you want to do there. Okay. Should my JLW7 have a funny smell playing after not using the car for no. No, it shouldn't. I mean, most of the time the funny smell typically goes away after the first couple hours of playtime. That's a weird one. Any thoughts on the Pioneer AVH 2300 NEX? Have you installed and used them before? The 2300 NEX? Yeah, we've used lots of those. It's a nice little radio. You probably get it pretty reasonable right now. Thanks for the info on the information. Yeah, no problem. We do quite a few F-150s. Quite a few. I'm a big fan of just bypassing the stop-start altogether. I don't like it. I mean, what I like to do in the F-150s for me is bypass the stop-start, Q-Class 1005, 2 Compar T10s underneath the back seat, components up front, coaxials in the rear. Nice, simple system. You guys have seen us do it before. It sounds really good. Possibly even do like one nice 10, like Rockford makes the T110T, which is the truck ported box, slides up underneath, sounds really good. But yeah. Can you explain when a speaker says 100 watts, RMS, peak 200, can it handle 150 at all times? So actually we have a video on this. I'll just preface it with that. When we were years ago, we did a video showing you like 6.5s and the way the 6.5 is built and how it can handle power and not handle power and what peak power is and all that. And the idea is when you're rating a speaker, you're rating the speaker for a full frequency playback, meaning you're saying, okay, this 6.5 playing from 20 to 20 can handle peak power of...
You still here?
I know, I'm sorry. Peak power can handle like 100 watts, which means you're going to cut that power in half and it's going to be really 50 watts you're going to play it with. However, that is going to change as soon as you limit the frequency response. So we know that speaker isn't going to be playing 20 to 20. Chances are good you're going to cross it over like 60, 80, 120. Well, as soon as you do that, you're going to limit the movement of the speaker, which means now it can technically handle more power because it's not having to play 50 hertz at 100 watts. It's not even going to see that. So the where it's going to play, it can handle, so you can increase the power to it. So there's a lot more involved than just saying, oh, it'll handle this and go. How much power can most factory wiring handle? Like if you add door speakers and an amp, at what wattage to change the wiring? Honestly, that used to be real simple to answer. It's not anymore. So it really just depends on the car. Depends on who made the car. Some of the Toyotas are coming with aluminum wiring for the speakers now. So there's no good answer for that anymore. You just kind of got to look at the wiring and see what's going on. Like Jeff Smith is wiring up his brand new Toyota Corolla, Camry, I don't know, one of those Toyotas starts with a C. And he's like, yeah, man, I got to run new wire in the door because it's like this little crappy 18 gauge speaker wire. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Now, a little crappy 18 gauge speaker wire is still good for about 75 watts of crossed over power going in the doors. But there again, whatever works for you. Do the JBL components have good mid-bass? Haven't heard them. Can I install DSR1 off an aftermarket head unit? Yes, DSR1 has 4 inputs. 4. So front, rear, left, right, 4. That's all it has. So if you have an aftermarket, if you have a factory stereo that has 4 outputs, you can integrate a DSR1 directly into it. It's got a switch on the side that when you're setting it up says you're going high level or low level. If you're going high level, which would be off the factory radio, you flick the switch. And if you're going low level, you flick it the other way. Can I run 2 channels into DSR1 and 4 out to a 4-channel amp and 2 channels to tweeters? Yeah. So in a DSR1, you can tell it when you're doing the setup. Best bet is download the DSR1 software, go up to the setup. It asks you what you're going to be doing for your input. So if you're going to be running front and rear into it, you tell it that. If you're going to be running just front into it, you tell it that. If you're going to be running front and sub into it, you tell it that. Once you set that up, it knows what to do. It actually gives you a picture of what you're going to do to plug it in. That's it. Rock on. You're done. Nice and simple. Hey, listen, we're going to wrap it up there tonight at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time on Facebook. We're going to be answering more of your questions and having a gay old time, as they say on the Flintstones. So make sure you tune in tonight, 6:30. Where? Facebook. That's right. Hopefully it'll work tonight, unlike YouTube did on Saturday. That was just so much fun. But, yay! Venezuela in the house. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later tonight. Bye. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to 1988. What's up, dude? How's it hanging?
1988.
1988. This is a 1988, Z. Audio systems checking in. Wave, Fernando. You're not waving. Wave.
Wave.
See, that was tough.
Oh, like wave like that?
Well,
What kind of wave?
I don't know.
Like sound wave?
You're mental. Today we're working on, as you can guess, yes, an antique. This is like 2 of these in less than 3 months, which is really weird because like I haven't worked on one of these in forever. But if one of these happens to fall into your bay, just so you know, the factory amplifier is located underneath the seat. It would be right here. This uses a 1763 harness for the speakers here. And there's also one behind the radio here. The thing to keep in mind, though, is that these are pinned differently. So don't just grab a 1763, plug it in, and hope for the best. You'll be out of luck. But we've also pulled it out of its factory sheathing because it's like a garden hose and retaped it up so that we have some room in the dash. This particular guy wants a flip out, as if the old school retro wasn't enough. So Pioneer, we still have some of their flip out radios. And so what we did is we lasered a new bracket to make it come out. The dash actually tapers in like this, so that's why it's sitting like this. But yes, it is sitting on top of a bunch of acrylic to have it screw into the back there. It's all glued together. And it's going to come out and cover this, as most flip outs do. Microphone is flushed into the side. Made a bracket to round over here to match this. We could just get an extra 1/4 of an inch to come out. But that'll... Yay. I mean, come on, flip outs, baby. Who doesn't love a flip out? I know. But yeah, so here's the piece. As you can see how it's tapered like that. So that's designed to match up next to it. Luckily, we had just built one of these. So we had one all set and ready to go. I just had to adjust the mounting down so that we could get it as low as possible in the dash. Fun. And then I'm working on the harness right now. As you can see, it's all bent. There's all the leftover pinned parts. And this particular one behind the radio, the constant 12 volts of ground are flipped. So as you can imagine, that would be fun to plug in and watch the sparks go flying on that fuse as it goes pow. And we got some speed wire coming over here, ending. Then we just got done making this harness, which is the speaker harness. So it's kind of nice. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Positives, negative are all on the right same side. So that's what's happening there. Hey from Brazil, what's up, America Car Sound? But anyways, so this is what we're working on. This is what's going on today. Naturally, this takes quite a bit of time because we can't just bang right through it. We are putting in speakers. So there's the flip out there. It's an empty box. We went with some KS 6.5s. These are not the component coaxials that we were talking about the other day on the show. They do make a version of these that are component coaxials, meaning that you can be a component or it can be a coaxial. Comes in the outboard tweeter. This one is just the regular coax. This is what he had in here. He had some power base. Yay. So all that stuff came out. We went with those because they're shallow. And as you can tell from like this door, I mean, there's no character to this door at all. So it's very thin. So we needed a thin speaker. Fernando's in the process of also putting in an 8-inch down-firing, this, whatever that is. So he's running the wire. We already have our umbilical cord here all set. And then my job now is to fish the wire down into here and plug it into that harness. And then that'll be fun. And we don't have to do the Bluetooth mic. It's going in the kit. Oh, and then the USB, for those of you that are wondering, we went with the new amp cigarette lighter replacement. So that's right there. If you guys are like, whoa, what is that? Check it out. We did a video on it a couple weeks ago. You can see how it works, what it does. Hello, missed you guys last couple days. That's okay, Bobby. I hope you're doing well. Hope the family's good. And that's it. That's what we got going on. How you doing, Fernando?
Oh, wonderful, man.
Yeah? You loving this car?
Excited about this.
Are you? Really? You need help.
See my face?
Yeah, I see your face. I'm trying not to. That was a pause word.
Off?
I don't know. I got nothing else. That was it.
How is everybody doing?
Bobby says no worries. Wow, it's an automatic. It is an automatic. But hey, just because the key ain't in it, baby. Yeah. And of course, we're putting the key in it going, wait a minute. And then it's got the cool little push button next to the thing. Under it. So that, look at this. Look how tiny this key is. I mean, look how small that is. It's so tiny. Wow, 88. How many guys remember 88? Mm-hmm. Do you remember 88, Fernando?
No. I was not even born that.
What? Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, come on, man.
I was playing with little cars.
How old were you in 88?
4 years old.
Were you 4? Wow. I was in 11th grade. Yeah, I was in 11th grade. But we worked on plenty of these because I started in 90, so this would have been 2 years old. So these were the cars. 88, baby. So.
Oh, yeah, that's a Toyota.
I was 10. Okay, I was older. It's just how it happens. First car was an 88 Sunbird with the little square radios. Oh, man, I remember that car. Did it have the V6? Because those came with an optional V6. Those were fun. My youngest was born in 88. All right, Brian, there you go. All right, Brian wins. And 88, I was bumping 12s.
Really?
That was Bobby. Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Look at that.
I have a business that I have a business that I want to do free work for you. I live just north of Tampa. That sounds weird, but all right, we'll figure something out, I guess. I have an 88 Honda Accord. There you go. 88, I was 22. There you all right. Yeah. I had an 88 Prelude. What years? Do you know what year Jeff's Preludes are?
I think it's like 92.
Are they 92s?
I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, he's got
like
two of those. Those are his
90?
retro build he's working on. It might be. What's the Facebook wiring page? Good question. It's 12 volt. Clean Wire Club.
Hey,
so look for 12 volt Clean Wire Club. And then if you're wondering what the new YouTube channel is, it's Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips. Just put up 4 new clips last night, along with editing. How many people we have? I don't know.
Now, watching?
Right now we have 49.
All right, so all these 49 people.
Most of these 49 people probably have subscribed, so it's okay.
Oh my god.
Because I know you guys have subscribed, right? I know you have. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's a lot of fun. You got me. I started 12 volt, 96 ish.
96.
Yeah.
I started in 2000.
Mini truck life. I was 8 and 88. Someone was born in 1980. I remember 1980. I was chilling by the pool, drinking New Coke. Good times. Good times.
I started in 2011.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Greetings from Austria. Hey, what's going on? I had an 82 Mercury Lincoln 2 15s. Oh, yeah, with acoustics. Oh, nice. Heck yes. Why do you hate the plug and play speaker harness adapters?
Yes.
So like anything in life, when you have a bad experience with one that kind of takes you out of like, I just don't. I feel if they were made a little bit better, I would be fine with them. But right now, it's a cheap part. I don't like it. I feel our connectors are better.
The reason
It's not voiding anybody's warranty.
No. And it's not like we don't use it. Sometimes customer came with those adapters and said, I want this, we put it on. When we don't use it is because when we have expensive speakers, you know?
We don't use it for any speaker.
No, I mean,
there's no speaker we use it on.
like,
I mean, it's expensive or cheap, really doesn't matter. I just don't like them. Just not my thing. Not my thing. I just subscribed.
Okay.
Thank you, Anthony. You know, hey, everyone has the one thing that they just don't like, and I don't like them. It's not my thing. They just don't always work the way I want them to. I just feel I can do a better job with my connector, and the reason why I say that is just from experience. I mean, there's guys out there that use those connectors, and they say they work great, and they're always awesome, and they're the best things ever. Cool. You do you, bro. I'll do me. It's not hurting anybody. If we need to, if they show back up with those factory speakers that we took out, okay, on those factory speakers is the pigtail so that we can solder those things back on, and boom, there you go. Everyone's happy. Nobody knows. Got some heat shrink. Call it a day. That's just what we got. You know, if someone comes in and that's a deal breaker for them, fine, I'll order them for them. But looks like some Camaro or Nissan. It's a Nissan, as you Canadians call it, the Zed. Zed. You know, the 88 300Z. I had an 88 and then a VW GTI rocking ADS. Ooh, yeah. Carver amps, Surrey Vegas subs all day long. Hopefully with the red rings. This coronavirus got you going on flashback. I mean, this is what showed up today, so poof, here we are. Yeah, so that's what's going on there. Yep, the 300ZX. 4.8s and 2.15s and an 86 Cutlass Supreme. Wow, there you go, man. You know, I'm not kidding. I'm kind of surprised. I really didn't think there'd be this much love for the 88s and the 90s and all that. 72 Maverick. Ooh, the Maverick, the sleeper car. Yeah, 4-punch 12s, ADS, Altec, and Alpine. Awesome. I had an 80 Datsun extra cab with the shell 412s in the cab 8. Hey, what did Matthew just get? He just got his grandfather's car. Which one is that? Do you remember what it was?
Nope.
Was it a Datsun? I don't remember. Matthew Palumbo, you know, the audio control guy, they just got a he got his grandfather's car. His mom found it and he bought it. We talked about it on the show when he was on. It's pretty cool. Oh, did you see where Audio Control is going to do a DMRTA event on Thursday? So if any of you guys are interested in the DMRTA, if you don't follow Audio Control on Facebook, make sure you go ahead and do that. They're going to have just like they did a week or so ago. It's on their Facebook page, so definitely head over to Audio Control. Matthew and Chris are going to come back on, and they're going to do a little in-depth talk about the DMRTA. And that's going to be Thursday. I think it's 11 o'clock Pacific time. Yeah, it is 11 o'clock Pacific time. So so that'll be later in the day for us. But it's Facebook, it's YouTube, and it's also Zoom, whatever that share thing is. So definitely check that out if you guys are into webcasts and want to learn something about the DMRTA. 88 Back to the Future. There you go. Yeah, that's right. I had two 12-inch Pile Pros and Jet Sound Electronics, baby. Finally, someone else that had Jet Sound Electronics. Oh, I had one of those. That was awesome. It sucked. It was a piece of crap, but I still had one. Once did 8 6x9s in the rear rack of an 88 Impala. Oh my gosh. Yep, I'll be live with you guys. There you go. Which DSP is better? I don't know. How can you use the DSR1 for front, rear, and sub? Yeah, well, it has 4 inputs and it has 8 outputs. When you're setting it up, it's in the settings. You tell it what you want it to be. The first option, default out of the box, is front, rear, and sub. You won't be going front, rear, and sub into it. You just be going front and rear into it, or front and sub into it, whichever one you want. But the DSP is designed to do all your work from there. Sirens, LOL, yeah. So we have a fire station that is right there. So if you're ever watching one of the videos and you hear like the beginnings of a siren or something like that, that's why. They always love to go off as soon as we turn the camera on. Do you usually use the original speaker wire on the doors, and how big and watts? This used to be the question. Someone asked that one last night. Could you run using those wires? Yeah, that's the same question somebody asked last night. Yes, we usually use the wires that are running into the doors because it's getting harder and harder to run wires into the doors. Factory wiring, if it is copper, it's typically between 18 and 16 gauge, which is plenty big for just about any high amp you're going to be running to it, unless you're talking about something that's like, 150, 250 watts, in which case, yeah, you'll probably want to go ahead and run a bigger wire to it. The problem you're going to run into is getting that wire into the door. If that is the case, then the best move to make is to run your wire to the kick panel area here, as that is going to be the closest point to the door. A short piece of wire there that is the factory is not going to hurt anything, and then do the same for the rear doors that this doesn't have. That would be the easiest way to do that and get your big wire. Huge fan from San Antonio, Texas in the house. Then went to RX-7. Ooh, 87 RX-7 415s. Dang, that's crazy. That is crazy. Is that an 88 with a T-top? Yes, it is. That apparently is a rarity from what one of the customers was in. Who was in earlier that was talking about T-top? Oh, so Jackie stopped by. Ooh, guess what we got to review? I'm so excited. It came back. So this was the amp we had on when Eric was on the show, and it finally went around the world, and it's come back to us. So now we get to do an unboxing review of this guy right here. I'm super excited to be able to do that. But so Jackie dropped it off this morning. So yeah, apparently T-tops wasn't a big thing. So I have installed my first Helix 512 today and an Audi TT. Ooh, that's fun. It sounds amazing, and would love to see some installs with some someday. I would too. I think that's what Jeff is putting in his car right now, Smith. He's putting in the Helix stuff, so it'll be neat to, once he gets it in there, of course, we'll get it in and we'll talk about it. And there goes the air compressor. Hey, can you? No, you're busy. I'll get it. Do you recommend replace the 8.4-inch Uconnect system in a Jeep Cherokee? Depends what year it is. If it's not doing something you don't like, then obviously replace it. But if it's working fine, no. That's up to you. What's up, guys? What's clocking? Just the usual. New car doors, Molex plugs are a nightmare to get wires through. 100% agree with that. It is terrible. Terrible? Yeah, whatever that meant. Cooking. Are y'all staying busy? We're not doing terrible. If the virus wasn't going on right now, then I'd just be like, yeah, this is kind of a weird month. But we've had cars every day, and so, I guess that's a good thing. Whatever. If cars don't show up, then we have other stuff we can do as far as like videos and things like that. So, do you know what gauge wire Honda vehicles use? No, I don't. God, I keep doing that. Those amps are just getting smaller and smaller, right? I know. I'm a big fan of the Mini Ts. Love those. Alright, here we go. Most of those old Nissans and Datsuns rust out to death. Nice to see a survivor. I know, and that's what's weird, because this is like the second one that we've done in that many months, so it's very bizarre. Tumbleweeds here. Really, Johnny? Ooh, all right. Well, if you're in Texas, head over to Loud and Clear, Wiley, Texas, and say hi to Johnny. now would be a good time to get some stuff done. You know, just saying. If you're you got some time off, drop your car off, get that new stereo put in. Hey guys, hope you're working on the cars one at a time. Keep that 6-foot distance. We always work on cars one at a time. I mean, and our install bay is really small, so he's right there. He's right there. All right, hold on. If you would need to go to quarantine, would this be the place to be? If you would need to go to... Oh, okay. So... I'm for the quarantine. I think it would be a bad idea because people are crazy here in Florida. So, I mean, but politicians are like, no, we're fine. Just stay away from restaurants and don't go to the beach and whatever. 6-foot social distancing. They're idiots. That's all I can say. I could go for a day off, to be honest with you. If like we had 2 weeks where we had to be separated from work, 2 weeks would be a bit much. I think I'd just sleep for a day, and then I'd edit a bunch of videos that I have waiting to be edited. But then, as long as we're not open to the public, there's stuff we can get done. So there's a long list of videos that need to be made that we don't actually need customers' cars for. So that's what would happen, which would be really nice, but we know that's not going to happen. Hard to keep 6 feet apart when you're working inside of a car. Yeah, especially a small car. Well, there has been a change. I'll let you know better. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for 80s and 82. Oh, that'd be nice, Bobby. Yeah. Running, Dean? Yes, I'm still running. Yep, I went walking last night. I went for a walk with the wife. We got home late after the show, and I was like, let's just go for a walk and just kind of walk around the neighborhood. So we went for a 2-mile walk. It was kind of nice. And the whole time she goes, why did you go running? I was like, dude, I was trying to be nice and take a walk with you. I mean, won't be doing that tomorrow. So, which I won't be because tonight's a normal night, so I get to go for a long run. I had to shut my bay down New York State sucks. Not installing right now. I know, it's terrible. Dude, on the other side of this, as you guys know, this is going to be a different world we live in. This is definitely going to be a different world. And I fear that we're going to lose some stuff. We're going to lose some stuff. That be either businesses or industries are going to change a lot. I don't know how everyone's scared. Everyone's scared, and the unknown is what's driving this crazy. But, hey, we all love car audio, and that's why we're hanging out here and having a good time. Did a big 3 upgrade in my 2015 Camaro, and now I have an error on my dash. Any solutions? That's totally possible. When you're doing a new car like that, you have to be real careful where you ground that battery, and the battery in that is in the trunk. So you could change the way the ground resistance works in that car, and it will do bad things. We always talk about that. There is there's a clamp. So when you look at a meter that has the wire clamp that goes around the wire, the factory has one of those built into it. It's around the ground wire, and that ground wire is what meters the car's resistance to figure out when it needs to turn on and off the alternator. So by doing the ground in the wrong spot, you may have changed that, and the car is doing bad things. But the easiest way to find out, of course, is to plug it into a scan tool and figure out what the code says and go from there. But there again, doing big 3, you got to be careful. Got to be careful, especially on new cars. How many people remember getting sick in November for real, though? Are you trying to say like the flu, man? Yeah, it was rough. The gooseneck was, the Blaupunkt. There was the Blaupunkt, there was the Kenwood, there was a Clarion. Ooh, we found the other day we were cleaning. So the other day we were throwing away boxes. There's a lot of boxes missing there, and a lot of boxes missing over there, and we moved some more boxes up to here. But one of those boxes has my old single din half cut Kenwood in it. How many of you guys remember that? There's a little Kenwood EQ about this big, so it was like a half din, but then it was a quarter of that. Yeah, we found one of those. I was like, oh wow, yeah, I remember that. Good afternoon from Cincinnati. Talking about old cars, my first install was in a 1986 VW Fox. Wow, I had 212s, MTX subs, 1200 watts. Wow, that's cool. The Fox. You remember the VW Fox?
No.
Really? Okay. Do you remember the VW Thing?
The Thing?
Yeah, you remember the Thing, right? Okay. Yeah, you're gonna say yes regardless. Did you ever check the signal between amplifier RCAs going from output to inputs is good enough, or I don't know what you mean. Oh wait, Jesus, I'm doing a hard time. Frostbite is still whipping some boxes, so all good here in Omaha. Glad to see you are staying fairly busy. Actually, got to call you guys because I think Paul needs to order some new boxes. Plus, I want him to order that new RAM box. So head over to Frostbite Box, pick up the cool truck boxes, but they have the new RAM box for the older RAM that has the tub. It's a fiberglass tub, and of course they make the custom tops for them. So something like I'm guessing. I haven't talked to them, but I'm pretty sure they're making one for that new L7 10 or 12 could probably fit in that. And that's the T, the L7T. I bet you they're making that box. I bet you. Which if they are, that's going to be pretty awesome. Did you order enough speaker wire to run from tweeter to mid-bass to the back? I still have some from my old install, but too short. Would it be completely bad to solder two ends to extend them? No, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that'll work. Those Kenwood EQs fit great in placed ashtrays. Yep, that's where I put them. My first install was an 8-track radio. All right, come on, man. Richter, really? You're like 100, I guess, right? And it's 1973 Dodge. It was awful. I had to cut the dash without proper tools. So, like, what you're basically saying is it just be like if you did it today without proper tools. Just saying. Giving you a hard time, Victor. All right, guys, listen, we got to get back to work. Thanks so much for hanging out with us for a little bit here. We'll be back hopefully tomorrow, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you later. Say bye, Fernando. Bye. Hey.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Oh, this is, dude, amazing.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'll set this over here. Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Dean. This is Fernando. And some of you might be wondering, hey, this morning when I got up, there was a part 4 to the Install Diaries F-150 911. And then you're going, and then it wasn't there. Or I watched it, and it was only 57 seconds long. What the hell? And I'm with you on that. So, wait, it's not enough. No, it's a Jeep. Come on, it's one or the other.
That's it.
Anyways, so basically what happened is last night I went to export the video. My hard drive was apparently full. It didn't export the whole video. I thought it had. I went ahead and deleted a bunch of the footage from that to free up disk space. Get up this morning, and our buddy Bobby, these nuts, was like, hey man, it's only 57 seconds, what happened? I was like, no problem, I'll go out and re-upload it, see what the hell went wrong. And then I realized, oh yeah, 1 o'clock last night I went through and cleaned off my hard drive to free up a bunch of space, and I deleted the whole edit. So part 4, well, it was done, and now it's not. So the whole edit got deleted, which means that show got deleted. Luckily, I keep a backup of all the files on another hard drive, so I will be able to re-edit and do it over again, but that was 4 hours last night that was wasted. Yay. So look forward to that tomorrow. Normally I know we do the recap show tomorrow. I'm going to try to get both done. We'll see how it goes. And so if I get it done tonight, I'll put it up tonight. So if you guys are up wee hours of the morning, it'll just go active as soon as I get done re-editing it. So 1 or 2 in the morning tonight. And that's about it. So that's what happened there. But in the meantime, if you want to head over to Car Stereo Clips, Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips, that's the other YouTube channel that we have. Just watch some clips, see what's going on there.
Why not?
Yeah, put a couple more of those up this week.
Yeah.
And as it stands, we might be putting more of those up because I think Clearwater is closing the city down. So, and that's where we're at, and that means we'll be out of here for the time being. We'll see how that goes. We don't know yet. We caught the tail end of the news conference. And if we do go out of here, we go out of here. It's play smart money. Smart money is let's not, Let's not be dumb. And I would prefer this to get over with as quick as humanly possible so we get back to normal. I have to turn on the hazard switch.
I turned the hazard.
Pull all that back.
Hang on.
You can unplug this. Unscrew this. Unscrew the stop-start. Unscrew that, and then that whole piece comes off. Or does it just pop off?
No, I let it run. Just unscrew it.
Yeah, unscrew it then. Yeah, you can pull it. I mean, they say it's okay to unplug it, but I unscrewed it last time. So what we're doing in this Jeep, just in case you're wondering, this is the new JK. We're doing some exploratory surgery on it for future videos. We're putting in new speakers, which we have done in the past. This is the one we put the Alpine radio in. He's in to upgrade it, so we have to pull out the whole Alpine radio so we can get the speakers out. For any of you that are getting ready to do this, know that it's about a 2 or 3 hour job, and be real careful. What's happening to what happened to the video this morning? Go back and watch the beginning of this. I tell you what happened. Needless to say, it got deleted. Do you guys know anything about Phoenix Automotive head units? No.
Nope.
And everyone that I've talked to says the same thing. So that's no. What's up? Just checking in during my lunch break. Hey, enjoy your lunch. Any ideas?
What?
You got the hazard on again. Any ideas on adding speakers to a 96 Geo tracker? Only has provisions for 4-inch and the dash.
Sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. For the 4-inch in the dash, yes, I think you can make door pods for that. If my memory of 96 is there, you can make some door pods to go up into that and get some speakers down in the lower front portion of the doors, and it's easy enough to get wires into that. Brian, what's going on? Thumbs up, bro. Anyway, so back to this Jeep real quick. The front pods we've done, that's these Metras. So in the Jeep, they have 4 4s, this little guy here, and 4 3.5s with the Alpine system. This will allow us to put a 6-inch in the dash. And then these are the new guys we just got in. These are from SSV Works. And what these are designed to do is it comes with a metal bracket that you use as a template. And it comes with this plastic piece here to allow you to put a 6.5 in place. So you unscrew the factory 6.5. This goes in place of it, and you can put a 6.5. You can actually do a component if you want. On the back side, it shows you where to center up the drill for your tweeter. What we're going to be doing is a set of Kenwood Excellence 6.5s that we've gone ahead and we're going to bi-amp into it because he has the Alpine system that has the 3.5 powered separately from the 4-inch. So this has the wire right here. We've gone ahead and soldered in our own tweeter wire, our own mid-range wire. So we're going to go ahead and bi-amp this. The 3.5 is going to power that. Thank you. Oh, hang on. Yep. Hang on. The 3.5 is going to power the tweeter, and then what powered the 4 will power the 6.5. There again, this is exploratory. He was like, let's see what happens. I was like, let's put in an amp. And he's like, let's just see how this works. And I was like, whatever. For the panels in there, what we're going with is the mid-bass out of a set of the 172 separates. So this has the component set that you can get. They don't sell just the mid-bass. This is the XR700Ps. We're taking the mid-bass out of that, and that's going to go into those. And then we're doing the 3.5-inch, the new Exelon 3.5s, these guys right here. These guys, the KFC X3Cs, are going to go up here in the top of the dash in this location. So in recap, we'll have the 6.5-inch mid-bass there, the 3 in tweet there, so we'll have a full 3-way set up front here. The 4, the amplifier is going to power those, that, and in the back we're going to do a set of coaxials bi-amped onto the rear pods. Sounds like fun, right?
Oh,
so much fun. But anyways, that's what's going on with this Jeep. They shut down US 1 inbound. Ooh, nice. I still have to work. Well, yeah, Bobby. I mean, you're essential. Do you guys know anything about? Yeah, we already answered that. Sorry. All right, let's just move on. There's a bunch of questions here. I'm going to tell you what, guys. We're going to end it there. I know we didn't get to a bunch of questions today. I'm sorry. If we have time, we'll come back on. Need to learn more about bi-amp. All right, I'll spend 2 seconds. So bi-amp means that we're going to run. It's a coaxial. It's a component. All right, it's a coaxial or it's a component with a tweeter. Bi-amp just means that we're going to run 2 amps to 2 speakers. So bi meaning 2. And in this case, what we have is this, see this tweeter wire right here. The positive goes over to this cap. Negative comes to a universal negative here. We've unsoldered the tweeter from here and here. We've soldered on our new wire. This is a bipolar capacitor, meaning positive, negative switch. It doesn't matter if it's not polarized, meaning this is negative, this is positive. If you go backwards, it explodes. It works for what we're doing because sound is AC, meaning it flips positive and negative. And we're going to run the power for the 3.5s, which play all the way up, are going to go in and power this tweeter. And then the power for the 4 is going to go here, and that's actively crossed over. So it'll power just the mid bass. So we're going to bi-amp them in the sense that we're going to be running 2 amplifiers to this one set of speaker, or this one speaker as it were. Now when you're doing a component, that's done through the external crossover, where you have a set of inputs for the tweeter, a set of inputs for the mid-range, and they typically use something that looks like a Spock thing that goes in like this that bridges them together. And then you have output tweeter, output mid-range. You can run 1 amp on both, and that's what the little jacks will do. And then you can run, if you pull those spades out, you can run an amp for the tweeter. It'll go through, out to the tweeter, run an amp into the mid-range, go out, which is what we were going to do originally, but I didn't know how much room we'd have in here to do all that. So I was like, you know what, we'll just do this. We'll bi-amp those. All right, so we all learned what bi-amping is. Of course, we can elaborate on it more on another show. If you ask, we'll talk about it more. But right now, we're going to go. If we get done with this or things change here, we'll come by maybe later tonight and just give y'all some Q&A time just to see what's happening. Sound good to you, Fernando?
Sounds good to me.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye. Uh-oh, where's Fernando? He's not here, but this is his car. What could that possibly mean? Is there something going on in the back? Well, that looks like a DMA-10, but there's wires all just kind of chilling. Oh, what is this? Oh, is this that new R2 500X1 Rockford amplifier? Huh. I wonder what the lab could be doing if that's sitting here. Is he playing with the Moscone finally? The ultimate Bluetooth dongle? Wow, high res and everything over Bluetooth with a Toshlink output? I wonder if this is going to get plugged in that DMA-10. Didn't we just get in a whole bunch of new Toshlink adapters from Stinger, the X series? Wonder if we have a short one. Wow, there's a 3-footer right there. Let's grab that. We'll put those back later. We'll set this over on his bench just in case he needs one. Oh, is he putting some roadkill on his license plate? Oh, the ultimate. Boy, he's really upping it there. Holy cow. Well, I wonder what we could be doing. I guess you're going to find out soon enough. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully, you're not pulling your hair out or whatever. Thanks for tuning in and joining us as always on this, what we like to call, ironically enough, 5 minutes with 5-star. It usually isn't 5 minutes. Hey, did any of you guys head over to, there's a sexy amp. Did you guys head over to Audio Control and just check out Matthew doing the whole DMRTA thing? If you haven't, make sure you go watch the rebroadcast of it. If there's ever been any questions about the DMRTA, you didn't check out our video on it because you just don't love us. Anyways, head over to Audio Control. They did a live show earlier today, but it'll be out on Facebook so that you can obviously watch it again, fast forward through the parts, and just kind of pick it out. He did a really good job. It was like an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes on the DMRTA, so they pretty much covered every possible thing you could do with the DMRTA. It was really informative and a lot of fun. So definitely head over and watch that. And hey, did you guys see last night we got part 4 of the F-150 911 went up. So, and we differentiated them. So there's a yellow background on it. I put that up there so that, you would know that it was different. All right, hold on. What does it say? What you can say about Moscone amps and DSPs. I really can't say much about them. The only product we have right now is that little Bluetooth dongle. Love the amplifiers, but we just haven't done anything with them yet. Sup, fellas? Boring day. We had a job to do this morning, and of course we banged through that real quick, and as you can guess, there's just not a lot going on at the moment. You know, here in Florida, where we're at in Pinellas County, Clearwater, they've issued some new restrictions as far as who can be open and who can't, and it's a lot of it is voluntary. So they came around and passed out flyers and stuff like that, and we're considered a garage or repair, so it's up to us on whether we want to close or not. And by us, I mean not me, the owner. I'm not the owner, so it's not up to me. So as long as we're here, and we're making the best of what we're going to be doing. The install bay doesn't see a lot of people. It's just me and Fernando, especially right now because nobody's traveling, so we don't have people stopping by to say hi or anything like that. We pretty much have the door locked. The only person that comes in here is Paul, which is annoying. But either way, we don't see a lot going on here. So we're just using this time right now to catch up on a couple videos that we've been putting off, where hopefully you're going to see a lot of unboxings. You know, you guys were like, when you guys going to get back to unboxings and stuff like that? This year, 2020, is going to be a year where we get back to unboxings and talk about a lot of that fun stuff because of the things like the lab. We're hoping to get a new sponsor for the lab, change things up a little bit in there just to have a little bit of fun. We're talking to a manufacturer. We're trying to make it so they sponsor the lab for a year. Audio Control has been a great sponsor of the lab for the time we have had it. But it's one of those things that it's like, if we can get awareness of other people's products out there, then it only behooves us to do that. So that is the plan as of right now. What you want? Okay, there you go. Ask Peter. Peter knows. Hey guys, I tried putting a 6x9 Rockford Fosgate. I think the P's, that'd be punch, and they don't fit in my Ram. Any recommendations for a different size? No, you need a spacer. That's the problem. They fit. They're just deep. You can get up to 3/8 of an inch spacer with that truck before it becomes an issue. So I would make a spacer, and you shouldn't have any problems with that, getting it in there. But if you're like, I don't want to deal with that, and you're like, check out the new Kenwood Exelon 2.5 inch or 3.5 inch components that they make. They're made to drop right into the Dodge Ram. They replace the speaker on the top and on the door. So can you catch up on complete Morel install on the Camaro? Don't go that far. Slow it down, man. Slow it down. You never know, though. Depending on this all pans out, yeah, it might. You never know. And there's the fire truck. That's been plaguing us all day with filming. We just had to open the back door, so it's like as soon as we open the door, ooh. What kind of sponsor? An amplifier sponsor is what we're looking at right now, is getting someone, because we need small amplifiers, so we're trying to talk to someone that will supply us with 2 small amplifiers that will go into the back of that. And because every time we do something that requires film. All right, we're back. I'm sorry. Anyways, as I was saying, every time we do a car lab show, we always give a shout out to Audio Control because they are the current sponsor of this. So we're looking to move and, bring in more brands and whatnot, because they all, we get calls and they ask, like, what can we do? And so that's something we might be able to do. What toolbox do you guys use? All right, let's give a tour of the shop real quick, because that seems like a fun question. All right, so Fernando has this beautiful Cobalt top and bottom box. It is the appropriate height for Fernando. He loves it. Before Sears went out of business, and when I bought this box here, this is just extra storage. When I first moved in here, this workbench was exceptionally long because we were building subwoofer enclosures. At the time, if you've ever noticed, there's a notch right here. This was not made for this wire rack. This was actually made for my table saw to slide underneath it. Not realizing how bad of an idea it was, because if you cut wood here, it's going to just throw it on a car, so it moved over to there. That's not the original table saw, but anyways, I wanted something to hold more tools, so these are all just like hand tools. It's all just hand tools and paper products. So like all my notes and stuff like that all go in here, and then like some resistors, and so it's just a place to put stuff. And of course we hold all our cloths for cars and stuff like that. This is a Husky box. This was Fernando's original toolbox, and this is our cameras. So like the camera for doing the show is right there. This is the webcaster set is all in here. So anything that has anything to do with the camera equipment goes into that. Moving over here, we have the big Husky box. This has our refrigerator, and then all the tools, and of course the test equipment is all in this drawer right here. And then we have the other half of Fernando's toolbox, which is a Husky up there. That I don't think there's anything in that. We had to put it somewhere, so it just kind of sits there. One day, hopefully, we'll find a use for it. But ideally, I'd like to have them just get rid of this whole area right here and just line it with toolboxes, because I think that would look a lot nicer. It's just a matter of spending the money to do it. I'd have to spend the money to do it, and it's just not in the cards at the moment. Anyways, those are the toolboxes. Same here. Lucky we have a big multi-day job in the Bay. Well, that's nice. I mean, we had some jobs. Yesterday was a good day. Today, not so much. But I think there's something booked for tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Greetings from Venezuela. Great work on the full cal Evos, guys. Thanks. All right. Those are the Kenwoods. Yes, correct. Thank you, Jason, for posting that. They're talking about. Thanks for putting out the content. Have you been playing with the Audison software? Will you be using that tuning hardware? I haven't played with it in I don't know, a couple months. I was waiting for so I haven't played with the new version of the software that they have out. Yes, I want to get my hands on a couple of those to play with. Of course, we still have these guys right here that we play with. So we have the Forza, and we're working on something special for these right now. Hopefully that will happen. If it does, I can't wait. But I like their software. I like the little design. Pages are a pain in the butt, and I like how they just put everything on that front page. I probably should play with that. I just haven't had a lot of time. That's the thing. Like right now, even though the world is spinning slowly out of control, we're not catching a break here. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. So, like, I need a break. This weekend was supposed to be Knowledge Fest, which would have been phenomenal because that would have given us some time away from the shop. But that wouldn't allow us to catch up on any of the backlog that we have. And it's funny because we just keep creating more backlog for ourselves. Like, we have the new YouTube channel, which is Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips. If you're on a member, go ahead and subscribe. We have the 12-volt Clean Wire Club over on Facebook. There again, go subscribe. And, of course, then we just have the regular 5-star channel, which is all the fun and excitement there. But we're just not being able to catch up with a lot of the backlog. And also, as you all know, thankfully tax day was extended because the last 2 weekends have just been doing tax work. So Sunday is tax work all day, and it's not real fun. As you guys know, it sucks. So having to go back and look through a whole year of crap that you've done and purchased and expensed and all that, it's kind of a pain in the butt, as some of you know. So this year, hopefully, my goal this year is to not do that. I want to be more efficient in taxing. So because we're not going to Disney every weekend, that has worked out pretty well. But getting caught up on all this other stuff so that I can play would be nice. Do you think they'll work as good as NA Silver 15? Okay, I don't know what the first part of the question was. Okay. Have you been staying at home and working? Oh, Brian, you've been staying at home working on a truck. I know, Brian. One of these days, the truck's going to be done and it's going to be amazing. Match makes best small amps. Match does make really small amps, as you guys, which we did the video on with Jason Digos from MSC. Yeah, MSC. I always have to say it in my head to make sure I'm getting acronyms because you guys know I hate acronyms. They do make some pretty stellar amplifiers. I don't know if they would work for what we're trying to do because they have the DSPs and stuff like that built into them. Really what we need in the lab is non-DSP'd amplifiers because, like, for example, right now he's getting ready to put the 810 back in because we'd taken it out to do some filming on another product. And we need to test DSPs because that's what we get a lot of. And having amplifiers with DSPs built into them won't necessarily work for what we're trying to do. And the reason why we want like multiple small amplifiers is because they tuck up nice up against that back seat, as opposed to, let's say, one 6-channel or something like that. In this case, we were testing a sub amplifier, so it's real easy just to unplug the sub amp and move on to just use the highs amp. So that's what we did there. Nope, don't speak Spanish.
Don't speak Spanish.
Go out there. He's at the. I don't answer any questions here. Sorry, man. That's at the retail store. We have a sign on the door that says we don't answer questions and we don't talk to people because it's not what we do. They ask pricing and we don't give pricing. So, sorry. It's how it is. And it's always discouraging. Had some UPS guy get all ticked off of me today about that too, because we're like, we don't take UPS deliveries. He came to the back and he goes, you take the UPS deliveries here? And I was like, no. He drives around front, tries to come in the front door, and we're like, we don't. I just like had the same conversation with you. We don't take UPS deliveries here. You have to go down to where it actually says 5-star car stereo, and they will take them there. You know, it's weird. Okay. Have you guys ever done system on a motorcycle? We've had some people drop off parts for motorcycles, and we've done those, but for the most part, no. Fernando's down helping Paul, which normally I would have had Fernando talk to him, and they would have walked down there, but I don't understand. No habla. But, you know, as far as motorcycle goes, we've had some parts come in. Because Udine, zip tie sales have increased 300%. Great job, buddy. Hey, somebody's going to have to sail the zip tie community. That's for sure. Because, you know, that's, yeah. All right, what do we got here? Yes, this is new, is delaying my new D6-1202 2 weeks. Yeah. And that's the other thing, like, we've ran into. Yeah. Okay, Jason. Yeah, product supply and demand has definitely changed and shifted, and it just depends. Like some products, some manufacturers we talk to, we have a ton of products, and some don't. Do you receive a zip tie ritual? Oh man, I wish I did. All right, hold on. What was this? LOL, zip ties for life. All right, thoughts on the 2018 Mazda CX-5, Bose or non-Bose, which is easier? On a Mazda, I really don't think it matters. Honestly, I don't know. I'd have to do more research on it, but I know Bill Freeman, he's our, you know, the Kenwood, Rockford, he loves Mazdas, but I think he has a CX-7. I mean, obviously, non-Bose is going to be pretty simple because it's just going to be basic 4-channel high-level out of there. I don't know if that Bose system is variable voltage off the top of my head. That's the only problem I had. You know, I would have to get in there and check it out. It just depends how it's communicating between the radio and the amplifier. And right now, nobody has any thoughts of adding Amp Pro or anything like that. Yeah, honestly, I don't know which is better. I mean, obviously, non-Bose off the top of my head would be easier because it's just standard high level to low level. Go into a DSP and call it a day. All right, hold on. Hey, first I wanted to give you... All right, hold on. Hyphonics Brutus, 12 watts, not pushing, 12 Alpine Type R. Okay. See you later, Dean. Okay, got to get back to work. There you go. 65 Ford Electrical. Oh, good grief. That sucks. Props for the focal. Okay. What are you guys doing to protect yourselves from cars that might be contaminated from customers that are not showing systems yet? Stay safe. Good question. So what we have going on here is a 3-to-1 alcohol mix, which is right here. So every car that comes in, we go over the car. So like this is Fernando's car, but we wash the handles, and then we wash, believe it or not, you wash this area right here because most people close the door right here. They don't actually use the handles, or they close. So we wash this whole area here down. We wash across here. We wash any of this anywhere. We wash all the switches. We wash this. We wash that on the same side once we get into the car. Typically, we'll wash this area, the seat down here and the handle. We wash the steering wheel. We wash the sneeze pad right here, gear shifter, and the keys. That's the thing. Like when you get keys, you wash the keys because the keys are disgusting. Then we'll pretty much wipe down this whole area right here. And then if we need to, and then we'll move on to the back and do the same thing on the back doors. If we're working in the trunk, we'll wash anywhere along here and especially across here where our hands are going to be. If there's any hood releases or key spots or anything like that, that all gets washed. And then if we're going to pop the hood, most of the cars are dirty here because it's pollen season, so you can kind of see if anyone's touched in this area. If you see any greasy fingerprints, then we'll go ahead and wash this area all around where we're going to touch that. And then when we're done, we come over here, we grab our antibacterial, which, you know, I have the small thing on my desk and we got the big guy right there because, you know, and so we'll wash our hands again. And then if we need to, we take the Lysol and we'll spray off the seats. And like, since that guy just came in here and wanted to talk on the door, we clean this constantly. Like every day we're over here spraying this because people just love to do that. And then when we get out here into the showroom, we spray this again. And then we spray here. Now when we open the door, see we have these locks on the outside. We actually pull it from there and then push with our backs. And then, of course, if someone is silly enough to hang out in our waiting room, we just go ahead and Lysol off the couches to protect us from that. So, I mean, it's probably not like hazmat level 9 type stuff, but it's what we're doing. You know, it takes an extra 15, 20 minutes to check in a car now. And then, of course, we still put our steering wheel covers and our seat covers over everything. All right. Does Fernando plan on changing the head unit? Yes, God, yes. So we have the dash kit already in it from Scotia. Jeff Smith got us one of those. I know he works. It was a trade. He hooked us up with somebody that actually sells Scotia, even though, you know, he's the Pack guy. Pack doesn't make a kit. So because there was no conflict of interest there, he's able to get us a kit. The reason why we haven't done it yet is because we're waiting on a specific radio to go in here, and it's going to be part of the review of that radio is when we put it into his car. So though we would love to get this out of here. Do you have a visitor?
Oh, again?
We had one earlier too.
Two.
He got mad at me.
I thought this is an auto shop. You guys,
We do the installation thing here.
oh yeah? I was gonna say you help me fix my damn fender, but never mind.
No, we don't fix fenders.
Alright.
Body work.
Take care,
Sneeze
buddy.
pad.
Auto repair, buddy.
Auto repair. There's Fernando.
There it is.
There he is. Did you talk to the construction looking guy that was bald? Yeah.
Surprising. It's a 2500 Chevy Silverado.
Nah, why is that surprising?
Because the box fit. It's like so thin.
Because he came over here and then he got mad at me and then he started yelling at me in Spanish. I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. You're in the wrong place.
Oh really?
Yeah, apparently it's Yell at Dean Day.
Yes, today.
Today's Yell at Dean
UPS
Day.
guy
Yeah.
says, chill out, man.
Chill out, man. Sorry, high strung. So anyways, yeah, so as soon as we get that radio in to do the review, then we're going to put it into Fernando's car. We're actually going to put 2 radios in there. So because the radio we're getting is a single DIN.
Chill out, man.
As soon as that comes in, we'll put that in here along with the Sony. Can't wait to put the Sony in.
Sony?
So yeah, we're talking about if we're going to put a radio in your car.
Oh, we're talking about like 10 years from now.
No, we're just waiting for the updated version of it. Everything's getting slowed down. Dude, we still got a whole car we have to build for ground zero. You know, fortunately for us, that got moved to June.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, and we're working a deal right now. Yeah, so it's ridiculous. So, 2012 Yukon with Bose, amp is under console. What harness do I tap into for the LC7i? You know what? I think with that, you don't even need an LC7i. If it's got Bose, that is like the old school original pack piece that they make. So if you go on to the pack-audio.com, you can grab they make a T-harness with the adapter on it. So because that's just line level output. You don't have to go after the amplifier on that one. So And in 2012, yeah, you're golden. Yeah, I think it's going back far enough. I mean, it's. Anyways, head over to packthatshow.com. See if they make it. If not, you got to go after the amplifier. But I think you're good. I think you've got variable voltage going into that amp. I'm guessing it's an Alpine 11-inch. No. The Alpine would definitely. Alpine's weird, man. We tried to work with them over and over again, and we're just waiting.
We're gonna give you a call, bro.
We're just waiting. We'll see what happens. But no, we're waiting on. A lot of these manufacturers. The thing is, you gotta understand. So a lot of these manufacturers we talk to have great intentions, and we have great intentions to help work with them. Some of them, what?
To everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we don't. Our goal is simple. We want to pass out as much information as we can. We want to review as many products as we can. We're all in this for the same reason. We all love car audio. We all love talking about car audio. We love sharing car audio. We love new things. We like to touch car audio. And so, when we talk to manufacturers, we tell them, hey, we want to show this stuff to you guys and explain to them. Like, one of the things that is funny is that a lot of these manufacturers will come out with some of the coolest stuff you've ever seen, and they never talk about it. Prime example was the Q Class. Yes. The Q Class did amazing stuff that most people don't even know about, and it's a shame. So we look at it upon ourselves. If we get our hands on these things, it's something we can talk about and share with you guys. So we try. Brian says, be safe and smart, so you keep installing.
I don't think it's smart. But thank you, Brian.
I'll fight Fernando for that GS9.
What?
He'll kick your butt. That's Mr. Idaho.
I got a Crampers, man. I'm not afraid to use it.
Hey, Dean, have you seen any new Civics come in, and what do you recommend for the 440-watt stereo upgrade? Yes, we have. So what Honda's decided to do is go with digital over copper. So now on that amplifier, which I believe is up behind the center console with all the connections facing into the passenger footwell. You okay? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, I was like, what is this for? And I'm like, oh.
I got you the attachment cable.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Remember, we got to go in and change everything to 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it's digital over copper, which means you have to go after the amplifier in all the Hondas. It doesn't matter if it's the Civic, if it's the Accord, if it's that hybrid goofy thing, it's whatever. Where the fun part comes in is there's essentially six discrete channels. There's 6 discrete channels you have to keep. You have to keep the center. You have to keep the sub, you have to keep the front 2 tweeters and the front 2 mid-range. They're full active. Those 6 channels you have to keep in order to do anything in that car. I recommend going full active, meaning don't try to sum the tweeters into the mid-range. I would go full active. The last one of those we did was in an Accord. The last Honda we seen in, we actually just did a subwoofer in it. But we have integrated the whole, I think it was it? No, I don't. Anyways, it all kind of blurs together. The last one we did, we needed something with 6 channels of discrete input. At the time, we were on a budget, so we went with the PXE0850S. However, you just need something with 6 channels of discrete. Something like a DM810 would do that. The 608 would do it because you can get discrete inputs on channels, 2 of the channels. That's what you have to look for. You have to make sure that 2 of the channels can do specifically. The reason why you have to retain that center channel is because it has the GPS going over the top of that. So, and also all your door, all that stuff, Bluetooth and everything comes out of that center channel speaker. Okay. That look you just gave the camera, it's the same look you would give a rep when they feed you some BS.
That's exactly the same face.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's funny. If you guys have never caught The Boring Life of Dean and Haley, it's a YouTube channel that Haley and I do. Haley's my daughter. And it's just amusing because she is so much like me. It's not even funny. But as a parent, it's almost kind of scary because she's pretty much picked up on all my bad habits. and she's very sarcastic, which you guys don't get to see a lot of here on the channel because we, but yeah. Sometimes it comes out on the live shows, but for the most part, when we're pre-recording, we keep it very clean and very tight for a specific reason. But yeah, it's hard sometimes when she's around. On that channel, no, it's all no holds bar. We can have all the fun we want because who cares? There's only like 500 subscribers to it, so we have a blast and we just have a good time with it.
But if you haven't subscribed, go subscribe to the Born Like
Dean, put Morels in your Camaro. There's a long story there that maybe. Do you guys have a favorite amp brand? Ooh, favorite amps. Do you have a favorite amp? That's a tough one. Do you have a favorite amp?
Oof.
I mean, because you got to understand, when it comes to us, a lot of the times, we're not exactly favorite amp people. We're more favorite situational amp people.
Yeah.
So, like, depending on the car we're working on, it's like, ooh, that would be wonderful for that amp. That amp would work great inside of that car.
What I would love to own,
Yes.
as like for me.
Yes, what would be for you?
That would be the stupid.
The stupid.
It's expensive. The Thesis amplifier.
Shoot for the moon,
The
man.
Duo?
Jesus Christ.
Duo for the mid bass. What we did in the Raptor.
So you want the Voces?
No, the Thesis. What?
Would you settle for the Voces? I mean, we could probably work on something for that, but the Thesis ain't happening in this lifetime, bro.
Man, I know.
Yeah, Thesis maybe.
Okay, I'm fine. It's okay. I get the Voces. That's fine.
I mean, if you'll settle on the Voce, we could probably work towards that at some point in our
Let's
lives.
go with Voces.
You need 5. You want the 5.1? 5.1 full active, A class tweeters, B class mid bass, and a sub.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
And yes, the Duo for the mid bass.
Why would we need? Can't we just do the? You're not doing rear. It's a 5.1.
Yeah, no, I would do the rears. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, now you're just getting expensive.
Exactly. What's the point?
All right, so you want some Audison amps?
I don't know.
I mean, the only thing I want right now, as far as an amplifier goes, that I currently, so there's one amp that I want as a lifetime. I just want it as an Orion Beast, black or red. Really don't care. I just want to own one. I don't even care if it works. I really just want the heatsink for the most part because it's cool and it was kind of like my dream amp when I was a kid. As far as what I would purchase right now, if I just to own, would be the new Morel 45th anniversary amplifiers. Just because I'm a fanboy. And I love buying fanboy type stuff, and that's like the ultimate in fanboy type stuff. So I want to have that. Yeah. Right? Hey, Butch.
How you doing?
Pretty good. He's our sticker guy. He gets us our stickers, and he just stops by to borrow stuff. And we put stuff in his truck. All right, let's see what we got here. Amps, Diamore or Audio Frog's wishlist. Well, Audio Frog doesn't make any amps right now. He makes those special ones. His amp, that's that like one-off thing. But Tony's amp.
Ooh,
Okay, so like Tony's mini amps, like those would be cool.
Ooh, man.
Like the mini amps, that would be neat.
Those amplifiers, yeah.
But like the big one, Jesus, man, those are so heavy. One of the things you guys don't like, if Steve doesn't do a really good job, like when he picks that thing up, he doesn't do a really good job of showing how heavy that thing is. But let me tell you what, the bottom plate on that amplifier, it is so freaking heavy. I mean, they weigh a ton. So you guys need anti-sneeze guards for when people drop by. I just don't want people dropping by. I gotta be honest with you. I think tomorrow the door's just gonna stay locked all day.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of people just walking in and be like, "Is this the stereo?" No, it's not. Morel is my favorite. Are Pioneers the best head units out? It depends. If you're a Pioneer fanboy, I'll go with yes. Personally, I like my Kenwood. It's way nicer and it's a better product in my personal opinion. I have to preface it with that because we are a big Pioneer dealer. We also sell Alpine. We sell a lot of Pioneers. Right now, today, I like what Kenwood Exelon is bringing to the table. The XR, is it the XR? I always get that wrong. What is it? The XR line of head units with that screen. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's simply gorgeous. I think it's as heavy as a Zen 9. I don't know. It might be. That's the Zen 9 right there. It's freaking heavy though. No favorite amps. So many good ones. Yeah, there you go. None are perfect. Oh, for sure, Jason. For sure. But It doesn't mean I don't want to own them all. Morel Hertz or Focal for hip hop and R&B and a Toyota Tacoma. I'm gonna go with Focal. Hip hop. Which brand? Focal, Morel, or Hertz?
For
Hip hop. Yeah, hip hop and R&B.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
we're gonna go with that. And on that one, I think we're gonna call it a day for right now. Thanks so much for stopping by and spending your time with us. We hope you guys are getting along. Tomorrow is Friday, which for some of you, like us, doesn't mean a whole bunch of nothing. So we'll talk to you tomorrow. No, it's called I'm lazy and I forgot to shave last night.
I haven't shaved because the barbershop that I go, it closed. So.
You're breaking my heart. You don't know how to shave on your own?
Well, yeah, but I want to do my haircut and everything. So why even bother?
30-something, I swear. All right, guys. You have a wonderful day as always. We'll talk to you later. Bye. What are you doing?
Where you went?
I'm over here. Ah.
What's up, guys? Good morning. Good afternoon here. Good morning over there. Or good night. Whatever it is. Hey, what's up, Victor? We have another F-150 over here. That's right. Because there's no more cars in Florida. All the cars are locked down.
You gotta have your truck for the zombie apocalypse that's coming.
That's right. What's up, Michigan? Par 5 F-150. What's up, Mel? How you guys doing today? Let me see. I'm gonna flip this thing. I don't know how it works. Hey!
Did you find
What's
yourself?
up, Brian? I find myself. How you guys doing today, guys? How's everything?
This is what it looks like when you're far away.
Oh, that's right.
Donde estás, mi amigo?
I'm right here.
I have no idea. I just said it.
Just got done doing a Lexus. Oh man, I'm sorry for you. I mean, I don't like Lexus.
All right, wait a minute.
It's
Oh,
fine.
we're working on Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, how did you guys like that video today? If you haven't checked it out, the classic Orion
Audio Systems. What's up?
GT.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was fun.
No kidding.
Still in the market for a 2250. You know, the Beast, the Orion Beast. Need one of those. Red or black, I don't care.
And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's this one right here. Look at that.
Well, you know, I got a question for everyone.
Okay. What's your question?
So the question is this. Do you guys like the reviews that we do? So, you know, we've changed them up over the years. So, like, this was a straight-up review. We didn't obviously install it because it was an antique, and that's, you know, I don't want to break it. But most of the time when we're doing reviews, lately, you guys, we've been following it through to the end. So we've been putting them in something. We've put them in the lab. That's how we're planning on doing, like, amplifier and DSP reviews going forward. Obviously, unboxings for radios and stuff like that, that won't be the case. But, you know, do you guys still enjoy the reviews? I assumed you did because everyone has been asking for them, and everyone today has nothing but positive things to say except for one guy who typically never has anything good to say either, which is fine. But I was under the impression you guys still liked reviews because I feel we do a pretty good job on them. And, you know, why not? And especially times like these where... Anyways, my question is, do you guys like the reviews, yes or no?
People say yes.
Okay.
Yes. People say yes. I like it. I like it. I like it. Of
Okay,
course you
so
like
then...
it. Why not? Why would we not like it? It's car audio. Everything related with car audio is awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I feel without the reviews, you just, like, all we do is talk about installation, then you don't actually know what is being installed. You don't know what you don't learn anything about the products that you might actually need for yourself. So I feel like the reviews are an integral part of the whole series of shows,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, granted, when we do installations, it almost turns into a mini review in some cases because we go through and we talk about the products we're putting in. So just a standalone review, to me, kind of speeds up the process of if we don't have the car to put it in, then, you know, rock on. So... at least that's my thought. If you guys are down, that's cool. Just keep saying yes or no, whatever you like.
Robbie Craven came across on an old SoundStream reference 300 the other day.
Cool.
Run. Don't hook it up.
Run.
So the problem that the Soundstream used to have, the
Really?
original Soundstreams, the blue
Uh-huh.
little Soundstreams. So you had the silver ones, which were awesome. There was one that had this cool
What's up, Bobby?
piece of plexi on it that had the little capacitors in it, which was a bad idea. Soundstream used small capacitors, and so did Precision Power.
Yeah.
And the problem that you'd run into is that the little capacitors would pop off the circuit board like popcorn. And you know, before we'd install the amp, we'd do the shake or the roll test.
Uh-huh.
We'd take the amp and we go like this,
Yeah.
tip it, and if we heard click, 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 then we go, yeah, we can't put this in. And then the argument was always like, well, it still works.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it still works. It's just your capacitance doesn't work. So the amplifier is not going to function properly. Power supply is still turning on. There's just no capacitors left in the board to do anything.
What's up, Fernandez? How you doing, buddy?
What's
Audio
audio
system
system?
says, Dylan Fernando, when you guys gonna start TikTok? TikTok. That's it. That's what we have.
Haley
That's
would
it.
love for me to start TikTok, but we keep talking about it, and I don't know.
I don't see the
I don't-
purpose of this
I don't
for
know
TikTok.
I don't know what we could do that would be entertaining with TikTok, because
That would be cool if you do it for
the boring line.
the boring life of Dylan and Haley.
Yeah.
Yes, that
Oh,
would be
I
awesome. You know.
She'd be super happy if we did, but because every night I go home, she's asking me to do some TikTok. She's like, "All right, Dad, here's what I want you to do. I want you to do this, and I want you to do that, and then you need to do this, and you need to do that, and then you gotta go like this, and she's like, all right, ready? Here we go, and there's, I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I just sit there and I go, no.
And that's what you get
And
for
she goes,
TikTok.
you're no fun, Dad. And I'm like, yes, I'm the most miserable dad on the planet.
Yes, like stitching stitches.
Bitches get stitches.
Kind of, yeah. Special inside tip and tricks are helpful as much as the reviews. That's right, and that's what we do this. That's what we do. The 5 minutes, the normal is like 35 minutes,
Well,
45 minutes.
Here's your tip for the day. When working on a new aluminum F-150, this is the marine wire. This is 8 gauge. This
Hang
is
on.
8 gauge marine.
Hang on.
You guys have seen this. We've used it in 4 gauge. This is the 8 gauge version.
Mhm.
So it comes on this roll right here. However, you don't have to buy it by the roll. They sell these in 6-foot and 20-foot free pre-packaged kits that come with ferrules. They have circuit breakers, which I'm not a fan of, but hey, don't let my bias affect you. At least it's something. But yeah, so for like this, where we're gonna put it, we're gonna need about 20. I'm thinking 25 feet because we're gonna go in the middle.
25,
Because
really?
it's 19 to the corner,
19.
and then we're gonna go across and up. So I'm thinking an extra 6 feet, 4 feet maybe.
I'm gonna say like 4
So
feet.
you
Yeah.
think 23 feet, or do you want to go 24?
All right, that's fine. 25.
That's
A
what I'm
foot
saying,
is
an
that's
extra
fine. Yep,
foot
yep.
is not gonna make a difference.
It's not gonna make a difference. Yeah.
So we use a lot of this. Obviously, it's better for us to just buy it by the roll.
So what are we doing in here in this F-150?
Doing this. All right. So he already had this. This is the Rockford P308.
Yep.
You guys have seen us do the 10s, the 12s, the big 500, the new truck wedges. This is the 8. This one is ported. So this has a port right here. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, which I never did. I don't know why I prefaced it with that. I'm not an 8 guy. You guys know that. I don't like small woofers that much. Fernando has the 8 in his truck, or in his car. Truck.
I don't have a truck.
We have the 2 6.5s we put in his car, and we rotate between his 2 boxes. But if you're just looking for something small that has impact, we're not talking shaking the windows here. We're talking just to finish off. Like, this is a factory stereo. He just wants to add the bass. This doesn't take up any room. And this is the second truck we're putting this in for him. He had this in a Chevy. Now he's got a Ford, so we're putting in that. It slides up underneath the seat. Obviously, we're going to give it enough. It's nice. It's nice. Fernando put one in when I was out in Washington.
Yep.
And I came back and he goes, dude, I put one of those 8s in. And I was like, really?
I was surprised.
And I had never heard it because I always just graduate the people up to a 10 or a 12 or something like that. And he goes, dude, you're not going to believe this thing. This thing sounded amazing. I was like, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
He's like, no. And so then we did a beater pickup truck that we had come in. I mean, beater pickup truck. It was like a late 80s F-150. And the guy, Paul sold him one of these. And I was like, finally, I get to hear this thing. And sure enough, when I got done, it was like, man, he didn't pay for this bass.
Yep,
He
that's
did not
right.
pay for that bass.
No, it's an 8, so don't expect it's gonna be a sound of a 15 or 12. So But it sounds really nice. Audio system say one of my videos got 1 million views. Nice. Look for mine. You'll see. What's the name of the video?
I don't have 1 million views, so.
I don't have 1 million views. Hey guys, quick question. Precision Power are good amplifiers?
Talking about the old ones or the new ones?
I'm gonna say the old ones,
Yeah, they're old ones, man.
not the new ones. Hi from Brazil, American Sound. How you doing, buddy? Keep it up, guys. What the hell is TikTok? Victor. It's when you knock on the door. Tac tac, tac tac.
I will say, okay, so every time like we go to watch TikTok, or she's watching TikTok, I can tell because that's all she's doing. And it's funny, Victor. You know, if you need a good laugh, you know, I guess it's humorous that way. That's why I find it hard to see if it would be something we could do. You know, when we searched it the other day for car audio, it was just a bunch of like speaker videos, you know, and it was like, yeah, that's what we need.
I don't know what can you relate it.
How good that is going to be. All we've done is seen paperwork on it. We have done the audio control 61200 D and LC and an F-150, and if we're looking for an all-in-one amplifier to power everything, personally, if it was me, I would buy the D 4.800 and then the LC 1.800 would be my 5-channel of choice right now, as the current lineup goes and as far as what's available.
Right.
That's way nicer as far as getting the amount of power you're going to want for your subwoofers, unless you're just planning on doing, let's say, like 110, maybe 112, because it's only like 350, 400 watts for the sub, and that's not a lot. So we've done that in a car. We've done the 61200, and we've put like 2 Comp R10s on it, and it doesn't sound bad. But that particular customer was like, you know what, I want more. So we ended up with that guy taking the 61200, bridging it to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, going one corner, rear, and then we put in a 1.800 to power 2 P312s and a Fox box underneath the back seat, and that was like freaking unreal. I think I posted a picture of that install on Instagram somewhere. So what we learned from that one was that, you know what, this is cool if you're just talking small bass, but if you really want it to be big bass, then that 6-channel application just really isn't enough. Another one that we do a lot of in the F-150s when we're looking at that small bass combination is the Q-Class 1005. That's one of my other favorites to do in the F-150 because it's 1 amp, does everything. It'll power 210's okay. Obviously, it'll power 112, 110, big porta box, the whole 9 yards there. It's a DSP amplifier. I like going with that one as well. So, but we'll see when the Alpine comes out. I don't know. We haven't seen it yet. Supposedly, we're gonna get one to play with. We'll review it. Actually, I'm really looking forward to that amplifier. You know what? Too, we just did the Focal amp that's in the 911 videos right now. That 6-channel Focal, dude, that was impressive too. Like, I always forget about that amplifier because we really haven't done much with it, but it's the only one of those amplifiers, like that 6-channel amplifier, that'll do a 2-ohm bridged 5 and 6 channel. 5 and 6 channel. Most of those are 4-ohm. You can't do 2-ohm bridge, so you can't. But that one, the way it's built, you get that max power on 5 and 6 at 2-ohm, which is really cool. And that thing rocked.
All right.
Granted, he only had 110. So,
All right, can you use the high level wires behind the head unit and use the low level inputs? So basically using both.
Okay,
So-
let me try to make sense of this. So if you're going to use like high level inputs on a radio and the low level outputs of a radio going into an amplifier's high level inputs and going into an amplifier's low level inputs, yes, you can do that. However, it just, I do that all the time. If you're talking about, let's say you have a factory radio and you're going to go high level out of that into the low level inputs on the amplifier, if those inputs on the amplifier don't accept high level, so for example, the new Rockford, this guy right here, the new Rockfords, actually now all the Rockfords, well, no, that's wrong. Oh, I was thinking mini T's. Okay, so on this Rockford, it has a plug for high level, and then RCAs are low level. Hang on. Come on. Okay, so here we go. So on this Phoenix Gold, let's go over here. So on this Phoenix Gold, these RCAs are high level or low level, selectable by the balanced unbalanced switch. You have to choose which one you're going to do. So in this case, you would not be able to run, let's say, a sub RCA into here and then the high level into this. It wouldn't work. So you kind of have to choose from that regard.
That's right.
Now on like a Rockford Power Series Mini T, it has independent gains, independent out. So yeah, it would work on that because it doesn't really care what you're plugging into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could do that. Okay.
There you go. All right, let's see. Let's go right here. Hang on. What do we say? Have you messed with the new version of the Access DSP yet? No.
Not yet. So before all this craziness went down, we were talking with Metra, and we're in line to get one to play with. So yes, you will be getting a review on that product.
Yep.
At some point, we're working with them, but then all this hit, and so things have drastically slowed down when it comes to things like that. So,
yeah.
But yes, be expecting that. I'm actually looking forward to that. For those of you that guys remember Carphonics, Gatlin up in London, I don't know, up in Canada somewhere.
I think.
Yeah. He's now working for Metra up there in Canada. So he arranged for us to get one of those at some point. We would have gotten it sooner, but I didn't submit the proper paperwork. They require that, which is cool. But yeah, so as soon as this all settles back down and gets to normal, hopefully we'll get our hands on that new DSP. I'm looking forward to it. I've talked to Ad about it. He's like, dude, it's cool. I was like, all right, well, I'm down for cool.
All right.
We'll see how that goes.
Right. You should ground amplifier the same ground point as the battery. Well, in this one we have to. In this one we have to because it's aluminum.
Yeah. So aluminum, as you get. Okay. So don't. Everyone always. Well, aluminum's conductive. It's better than this. Okay. So for the F-150s are aluminum. And it's not the fact that they're aluminum, it's how they're welding them together. So the resistance between the back of the vehicle and where this actually works is not enough, won't pass enough load in order for us to actually ground it in the back successfully.
Yeah.
So it's like working on a boat at this point. So they glue the panels together, so the resistance in the back for ground is way too high. So we're not getting what this amplifier would need. So for this, it's just easier to run in power and ground. We do it anytime we do an F-150. There again, it depends on the car.
Yeah.
So like a new Tahoe is actually, it's metal, but in the back, when you go all the way to the back of a Tahoe, because that steel is all welded together and it sits on a frame, the resistance in the back is way high too. So you have to run a ground to the back of the Tahoe. So one of the things that I feel is going to be going forward in the evolution of car audio is we're going to be testing to see our ground resistance in locations in the back, just to see how high they are and know if that's a good enough ground in there. A lot of people do that, in the past. It's going to be something we're going to have to do going forward. Yeah. So whatever. Cypress Hill.
Cypress Hill. I like Cypress Hill.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think my Kenwood XR606 DSP 75 watts per channel it's enough for the CT sound Meso components 3-way?
Yeah.
It's 150 watts.
We've used them to power some flax, so if they
Yeah.
can power flax, they can power CT sounds. You know, the nice thing about, for those of you who've never worked with the DSP, Kenwood's DSP
Havoc.
600, it is a amplifier that is designed for AR, meaning iData. It's one of the only, it's one of a few. There's like 3 maybe now.
Yeah.
That will plug in AR directly and function in anything that's AR compatible. What's cool about that amplifier is it has a 10-channel DSP built into it. 6 of the channels are built into the amplifier, and 4 of the channels are outputs. So what he's doing is he's going to run a throughway active system. So you can take that amplifier and you can configure it any way you want. You tell the channels what you want it to do. So channel 1 could be tweeters, channel 2 could be mid-range, channel 3 could be mid-bass, or sets. I'm talking sets. So we have 5 sets of channels. But it doesn't matter. Like channel 1 could be mid-bass, channel 2 could be mid-range, channel 3 sets could be tweeters.
Yeah.
Or you could do like 1 and 2 mid-range, 3 could be rear fill, and then output 4 could go off to a big 2-channel amplifier to power the mid-bass, and then output the 5th set of channels could go off to a subwoofer or a center channel. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with that. What we've typically used it for is a 3-way set or a 2-way set and some rears, and then off to a subwoofer. And it's really cool.
Speaking of the boat, I was working one right now, but close.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Working on a boat.
Yeah.
Guess it must not be snowing there.
What's up, Wolf?
That's exactly how I'm going, thanks to you guys. Perfect.
There you go. Does the Rockford Power sub sounds better when you use something like the LC7i instead the high-level input?
No. All right.
Well,
so
I mean,
the
that would be-
only time we do something with that particular subwoofer, meaning the only time we'll use an external high-level to low-level adapter, is if we're going into a premium audio system that has, let's say, over 5 volts of output on the radio, 5 or 6 volts. At that point, it just gets to be too much for the generic high-level to low-level that's built into this. But that's it. That's the only time, and we'll use an LC2i, so an LC7i would work.
Yep.
But if you're doing a full system that requires an LC7i, then there's no reason to not use your RC outputs out of the LC7i to go off to the P300. Most of the time when we're doing, let's say, a P300 sub, we're building a system around that. One of the things we like to do is we call it the Haley Special. We'll put a P300 sub in the back, and we'll use the kicker key to power, let's say, a front stage active, and we'll just let the radio power the rear speakers. It's a nice, simple, clean system, full active DSP'd up front. And now that they just came out with the 501 key, which I've been waiting for, and we have one, we're going to be reviewing it. Oh my God, no! We'll be able to make that a full circle of life type thing, where we can put a kicker key on the front, a kicker key on the sub, fix all the BS that's wrong with the car, and be living life Vida Loca.
I'm very Carson. What's up, Brazil?
Now, since we mentioned LC7i, last thing I want to talk about before we go. All right, one of the products that Audio Control makes that just gets overlooked a lot, and I don't understand why, is this guy right here. This is the LCQ1. This is an LC7i, same shape as an LC7i, but it has 6 bands for front, or channel 1 and 2, 6 bands for rear, channel 3 and 4, and a 5-band subwoofer EQ with Acubase. Okay, now pan back up for a second. When people talk about tuning a system, if the only thing you have are gain controls, you're not tuning shit. All you're doing is setting gains. There's no tuning going on. You have to have something that can physically change the sound to actually tune something. An LC7i, whatever you feed into it, is exactly what you're going to get out of it other than the volume differential. That's it. That's all that's going to happen. It's the cleanest way to do it. However, if you want to actually tune something and you don't want to go crazy DSP, pick up the LCQ1, all right? This will allow you to actually tune it. So if you get into your car and it doesn't sound right, you can actually turn these dials instead of just going bass, mid, and treble on the radio. You can fix the way it sounds. So think about that. This is a little bit more, I understand, but all right.
Let's see. What kind of RCAs we use?
Stingers.
What kind?
The most popular one is going to be the 4000 series, which is this guy right here. So obviously the 4000 is going to be the most popular RCA that we use. And that doesn't mean that I mean, we stock a lot, so we have the 4000s, we have the 8000s. I don't think we have the 7000s. We have all the X series RCAs, which are essentially the same thing. The main difference between a regular Stinger 4000 and the X are the ends. The ends on the X series are all going to be where's one? They're all going to be gold plated, so these are all going to be gold plated ends. They're also a little bit bigger, so when you compare, they are more money. So they are substantially more money to pay for the gold. It's not like it's just a couple bucks more. It's a bit more. So these ends here, when you compare them to these ends, these are a little bit smaller, which I actually like the smaller ends as opposed to the bigger end. But this is gold, this is not. So, like I said, if you've looked at the installs, you'll see we use a ton of the 4000s.
Yep.
It's a great cable. It's a twisted pair. It's directional. Make sure you pay attention to the direction that the cable runs. The reason why they do that is there's a drain wire attached to it, meaning, so when you twist the wire, that's there to eliminate any noise. So if it goes next to something in the car that's picking up a radiated signal, by twisting them together, it's going to cancel that radiated signal out. The drain wire is there so that if by chance that radiated signal stays on the wire, it pulls it back towards the source unit, not towards the amplifier, so that signal is lost into the universe of that way, not that way where all the sound is headed. It goes the opposite direction, and that eliminates any of the engine noise. The reason why the 4000 series is nice is it's a great cable. It does what you need it to do, and it doesn't have any noise.
All right, it is true. Shorter the ground, the better.
No.
I hear shorter the wire, where it's the speaker wire or ground is better.
Okay, that's basically a misinterpretation of what that is.
What's up, Johnny?
You have to think of DC as a circle of life. Okay, when you're looking at a battery, the ground comes off of here, goes to the engine block, goes to the frame, goes to, in this truck it goes everywhere. There's more ground straps in this car than in any other car there is, because this is aluminum. So they ground strap the shit out of this car. Okay, well, let's say it's a standard steel frame car like most cars out there. Okay, you have a battery, the battery is the positive, the ground is the negative, we know that. But it's a sealed, meaning it goes like this, okay? When you take a light bulb and hook it up, there's an element between them, okay? You have an input, you have an output. The ground is just as important as the power, all right? A lot of people don't understand that. We've seen cars where they'll run a 4-gauge ground and they'll run a 4-gauge power and they'll run like an 8-gauge ground, thinking that the power is the key. No, it's the exact same thing. So if the ground through the frame of the car has a high resistance like this does because it's aluminum, that ground sucks. It doesn't matter if coming off of that little thing, if the ground was this big or if it was this big. What it's connecting to is garbage, all right? So the only reason why they used to say the shorter ground was better is because you're immediately getting it to the frame or the chassis of the car, and you're getting to that bigger piece of material, all right? So whatever you're connecting to has to have the same resistance characteristics as the power wire. So if you run a 4-gauge power wire, you look at a frame of a car that's all steel, well, obviously that steel car has to carry enough current to mimic what the 4-gauge power is doing. Just like if you ran a 0-gauge, hopefully there's enough steel in the car to mimic what that 0-gauge power is doing. Okay, so think of it like that. Don't think of it as like, I need a short ground because the car is all ground, but if the resistance is too high, it's a shitty ground.
All right, so they say.
Maybe that helped. I don't know.
All right, so how do you tell about the directional?
Well, the Stingers will have this cool thing that says connect to source on it, and then they also have hold on, let me find it.
It's like right there where the letters are. Actually, when they start, right here.
Do you find it?
Hang on.
I can't see it. Oh, well, they're real tiny. Yeah,
right there.
Has arrows. They'll have arrows on them.
It has. Come on, focus.
Yeah, we get it. There's arrows.
Yeah, it's arrows right here, but it's in the line where the letters are. So, yep, that's how you tell. The other side is normal. That one.
If you cut it open, you can test for the drain wire, but obviously you don't want to cut it open to test for the drain wire.
Yeah, let's cut it.
But what there is if you look at this, there's a silver, a black, and a red. One is the center pin, one is the shield, and then the other one is the drain wire. The drain wire is not connected on this end, it's only connected on this end. So if we were to cut this apart, we could meter between those, and if we were on this end, we would meter for the drain wire. We get nothing here, but if we were on this end, it would come through to the shield, and we'd be able to see, oh yeah, that was the end we wanted to use before we cut it in half.
All right.
Yeah, you good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey guys, that's it for today. We hope Russia's in the
Hi
house.
from Russia, South Africa, London. That was all over the place.
TikTok.
Yep.
All right, guys. We hope that was fun. Remember, head over to Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips on YouTube. Subscribe, and then become a member of the 12-Volt Clean Wire Club on Facebook. Those are two places to hang out. The Clean Wire Club is doing exceptional. It's it's amazing. You guys are wonderful, spectacular, awesome.
Yep.
You're doing great things. Great pictures, most amazing pictures.
Okay, now
you guys
you
are
sound
spectacular. And then if you want to see some really cool, short, very
India, New York.
information fulfilling, ooh, big words there. YouTube, Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips.
That's right.
Thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with us
Hey,
today.
Manny.
Stay safe, have fun. Car audio for life, bro.
Bye, guys.
Back to work. You ready? Sure. You ready? All right. Well, good afternoon, good Saturday. Hope everyone is doing wonderful, or at least as good as you could possibly doing right now. We have something fun for you today. We're getting ready to start on this 5 Series BMW. A couple things. We're putting in a kicker 12, this guy. Putting in this guy, the CXA 1200.1. It's going to go on a couple of his Comp R12s and the loud box, whatever, I don't know. Anyways, anytime we should have left it that way. Anytime we start on one of these, the first thing we want to do is, of course, pull apart the back, figure out what's going on. This one has a battery in the trunk. This is the factory amplifier. The first step we take, of course, is unplugging it and finding out which one of the wires is our sub-wire underneath the seat. For those of you guys that don't have a BMW or a Mercedes, there are 2 subwoofers located underneath each one of these seats. And then you have little 3.5s in the here and tweeters right there. And that's the system. When you're looking back at the amp, the subs are going to be these fat wires. These big fat ones, not the skinny ones, the fat ones. And there's a good reason for that. And that's why we're here today, because we wanted to show you the importance of testing the output of what you're trying to do. So the first thing we did was test for ANC, automatic noise canceling, fake engine noise. This guy right here, it'll play down to negative 80 volts, which shows us everything. And this has no ANC, so we proceed to our next test. We've done a couple videos on the ANC thing, but we haven't really talked about this much. But this is important because this is what's going to tell us what kind of high level to low level can we use. Can we use the one that's in the amplifier? Can we use a pack one? Or do we need the big dog, one that takes up to 40 volts of input? We need to know this. So, Fernando, hop in the seat.
Yeah, hop in the seat.
Hop in the seat. No, you're playing in the toolbox, man. Okay. Hop in the seat. So what we got going on is we're tapped in here. We have our voltmeter right here set to AC. And now what we're going to do is we're going to play a tone. Now, you don't want to play 40 hertz. You want to play with it. You have a tone generator app. You play 40, you play 50, you play 60, you play 70, you play 80. You play all the frequencies that your subwoofer is going to hit, and look at that meter and see what the heck it's doing. So right now, we're going to play 70 hertz, which is a real popular frequency, as we all know. All right, go ahead and start turning it up. Now this is volts. And we're almost to, there, we got 30 volts of output. Okay, you can cut it. So that's 30 volts of output. All right, 30 volts of output. That has a 12 volt, I think, maximum input. So does most of these amplifiers have a 10 volt maximum input. If you were to run 30 volts into that, you're going to melt the input section. Everyone's like, I don't know why my amp's not working properly. You're going to melt the crap out of it. Let me show you. So this is a standard high level to low level adapter. It looks like this new, you know, nothing bad. But
even the LC2R.
But if you put 30 volts to it, you're gonna melt the shit out of it. It's just gonna be dead. So this guy takes 40 volts of input. Up to 40 volts of input. All right. So that means that 30 volts, this will eat that all day long. That's why this is the size of a small amplifier, because it has this giant heatsink on it to eat up that power so that you don't melt your car on fire. This was a Lexus we took out of, it had the Mark Levinson system in it. He almost burned his car to the ground. Because as you see this smooth part right here, this is where it was resting on the factory. You can see the wiring from the factory amplifier was melted into here. If that would have been a power wire, whoo, that would have sucked for that guy. So that's why we always stress, test that output. It only takes digital multimeter set to AC, and you can see what the heck is going on. No big deal. It only takes a minute. You don't have to. You just got to burp it, take an eye, look at that, and be like, oh my gosh. So this is a 5 Series BMW, but they all have it. They all have it.
Use the right equipment.
So you just got to test. And that's today. That's what we're doing today. This is what we're working on. I know, so much fun. All right, so now that we've got the fear of God set into you as far as why, it's so important to know about that, what are we doing? So the plan is simple. There's this area right here that has this little useless piece of carpet in it that just like holds crap. We're going to leave that out, and we're going to mount our amplifier and our LC2I right here. And why that's cool is that these amplifiers come with feet that allow you to mount the amplifier straight up and down just like this. So we have plenty of height. We're going to mount the amp like this. We can set this guy right here. Wham bam. Woo! All sexy. Looking good. And then we'll run the wires out, of course, to this. The other nice thing about the way this is designed is you can see there's this... I keep hitting my head on this. I've hit my head on this now twice. That really hurts. As you can see, there's this nice tunnel right here. We can get our wiring up to tap into these speaker leads, and we're all set. Fun and exciting. And that's what's happening here today. As far as tonight at 6 o'clock, hopefully at 6, maybe a little early, we'll let you guys just be staying tuned on the YouTube. We might go a little early tonight, depending on how the day goes. If there's no reason to hang out, obviously, we want to get the show, get it over with so you guys can get on with your nights. It's Saturday. Everyone wants to do Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus because that's the party tonight. Woo! Drinking beer at the house and watching cable. Yay! I don't know. Anyways, or watching, reruns of Car Audio Talk. So that's what we got going on. Glad to see y'all. Was getting bored at home. Right? And that's why we keep coming on every day, is to try to just give you guys that little window of remember what it used to be like? Remember when we just used to, our biggest worry was like, dude, what amp do I want to get? Do I need that DSP? I think I need a DSP. Fernando, do we need that DSP? Of course we need that DSP. So, we'll go into 14 gauge to 18 gauge speaker wire. Will that signal degrade and will I lose power? Not really. Not enough to worry about it, no. For speakers, yeah, you'll be fine. It's Saturday. Lockdown has me all screwed up. I know, right? Front door is locked. There's no one in here. The only way to get in is through the back door. The only person that comes in here is Paul, which isn't exactly Joy, but that sounds like Aaron. Why does that sound like Aaron? Sounds like Aaron. Sounds like Aaron. And that's Aaron. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Havoc? So for you guys that need motorcycles done and you're here in Florida, give him a call.
Smile.
Havoc. Let's see the shirt. They can just follow the shirt. There you go. Havoc. You can find him on Facebook, send him a message, and he'll work on your motorcycle. What do you got going on in this? Talk to me.
Well, we have 12 speakers. We're running 6 6.5s, 6 6x9s. We're running 3 of the Stinger 700 watt 4-channel amplifiers.
This is the new logo, by the way. Whoa. So they were. Oh crap. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I did it. I screwed up. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, so these are the 4 channels. They do have a new 5-channel, which is just a little bit bigger, and they make a 2-channel. We talk about these. These are marine. So that's what's nice about putting them in a motorcycle. They're small, they're compact, and they don't mind moisture so much.
Oh, it's 6x9s?
Rockford 6x9s. Now, is this the Metro cover?
It is.
The Metro cover, and of course you made it pretty.
And we did the Metro Dual 6x9 lids.
Can we flip that open, or is it in the way? Look at that. There again with all the Rockford 6x9s. Now what makes these 6x9s, these are specifically designed to go into motorcycles. They are waterproof. They have all the coating on the front side so that water won't get into the neo-magnets that they're running. Then we got some Rockford loudspeakers here firing into the back as if it's not loud enough. Forego the subwoofer, we just went loud, right? Because you can't hear bass when you're doing 60.
Not so much. Not so much.
Then we got some more Rockfords up here in the front. Is
Metro
this
fairing.
This is the Metro fairing. Does it come black?
It does. So you got 2 options, either painted or non-painted.
All right. So
And
you.
there's the Metro lowers as well.
Oh wow. I don't know. Were they down here before?
Yes, sir.
Oh god, I just don't pay attention. And those are all Rockford speakers.
Yeah.
Do you have a phone number?
12 of them. 727-614-5404.
And you're in what, Largo?
Yes,
Yeah.
on Missouri Avenue.
Those of you guys might remember Aaron. He used to work for Amp Global. He was their national sales trainer. He decided to do something else. Motorcycles.
Motorcycles.
Fits the beard.
It does.
Yeah,
You
you're
gotta grow it
welcome.
out longer
You
now.
gotta grab it like this.
ZZ Top. Do
Come
you like ZZ Top?
I do. I
Have you
listen to
seen their
ZZ
show
Top.
on Netflix?
Um,
They have a documentary of ZZ
I'll have
Top
to
on
watch
Netflix.
that.
Dude, it was really good.
I'm too busy trying to get through the Government Conspiracies Netflix show.
All right, we'll talk later about that. Awesome bike. Yes, it is an awesome bike. You know what? What kind of bike is it? Because I'm not a bike guy.
This is an 07 Electric Glide.
07 Electric Ride. So there you go for those of you guys. And this is why I don't do motorcycles. Because I got Aaron. All right. Hey, Johnny, what's going on? Wiley, Texas. Living loud and clear. All right, guys. So go back and watch the beginning where we talk about this and what we got going on here. We're going to let you dip. You guys have a wonderful day as always. We'll see you tonight on the YouTubes. Of course, the webcaster is still broken. We've been testing that. So if you see us pop on the YouTube later, we're just popping on, testing out what we're going to be doing tonight to make it work. See, we got this going on. We're trying to figure it out. We didn't think it was going to get fixed because, you know, the world is on, you know, lockdown. But you guys have a wonderful day as always, and we'll chat at you tonight. See ya.